And we are back live. We apologize for the technical difficulties as we did not have audio there for just a moment, but we are ready to get started here at Bobcat Stadium here in Hallsville. Ready for a little high school football here in Texas. Austin Miller set to kick off. Back deep for Hallsville is going to be number 5, Carter Rogas. And the backs got new jerseys out there. It looks like it's going to be number 36. Excuse me. We'll get a number on that here in just a moment. Some of these numbers we may not have on the roster. Looks like number 35, Kyron Rosborough. And number 19, Kalen Reed. And so we are set to get underway in the District 9 5A Division II contest between the Texas High Tigers and the Hallsville Bobcats. So here we go. And we're off here in Hallsville, Texas. Rogas is going to take the kick at about the 16-yard line. He's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and looks like it's going to be an injured player on the field. That's going to be Jalen Jones, and looks like he is, as the training staff comes out to check on him along with Coach Stanford, as Jalen is a valuable part of the Tiger defense. And so hate to see him go down in the first play of the game. Our training staff, looks like Forrest is checking on him, does a great job for us. So Eric Aiken along with Brian Bolt on the call with you tonight. And as we stated earlier, we've got 4 cameras here. And so we're having to kind of work in between, doing a little weaving and bobbing, trying to get in between each camera to see the play. But right now we've got a clear view. And so as they help Jalen Jones off, looks like it's either going to be an ankle or a knee, looks like a lower leg injury. And so obviously wish him the best and hope that he gets better. So starting at quarterback for the Bobcats is going to be number 6, Jason Mosley. And the workhorse of the offense is going to be Elijah Nicholson, as he is their leading rusher and receiver on the team. It looks like they're going to go 5 wide to start out, empty backfield to begin the game. Going to be an offsides penalty, going to be a free play. Going to get it to Rogas. Rogas down the middle. Rogas is across the midfield. Going to be at the 30, the 20, and is going to be brought down inside the 20-yard line. Looks like it's going to be about the 15-yard line, and looks like Texas High jumped, and obviously they're going to waive that penalty off. It's going to bring 1st and 10. Big play for the Bobcats to begin the ball game.
Yeah, number 22, Michael Thomas, finally running them out, but not after a huge gain all the way down to the 15-yard line. A big play right there by Hallsville to start the game.
And so the hind judge, he sends a manager for the Bobcats to go get the flag for him because it was so far back up the field, and can't blame him to keep play rolling. And so here we go, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line in Tiger territory as Nicholson gets the handoff and is going to be brought down by number 27. Javarius Tyson. So going to bring up 2nd down and 5 at the 10-yard line, the Tigers' 10-yard line. Approaching 11 minutes left here in the first quarter. Hands off to Nicholson. Nicholson's immediately met in the backfield for a loss of 1.
And that's going to be number 95, Brandon Childs, that hits him first, along with a couple other Tigers. A big stop right there, going to bring up a big 3rd down.
So 3rd down and 7 for the Bobcats. Make it 8 at, be at the 16-yard line. Going to send a man in motion. Going to hit Nicholson out in the flat, but throwing just a little bit ahead of him, and that's going to bring up 4th down for the Bobcats. Going to send in the field goal unit. In the kick for the Bobcats is going to be Ontiveros.
Yeah, number 17, Chandler Wright, the cornerback. he didn't fall for a little trick play there. A couple misdirections in the backfield, and he had pretty good coverage there. He defended on the play.
So after the big play to begin the ball game, it's going to be, kick is going to be up, and for the Tiger defense, it's going to hold them to 3 after the big play, and so that's going to be, and so with 10:26 left in the first quarter, Bobcats lead 3-0, and man, Tigers got away with one there just to get away with 3 points on that one.
Yeah, and this game brought to you tonight by State Bank, your local bank for all your personal and business banking needs, with branches in Atlanta, Clarksville, DeKalb, Texarkana, Nash, and a new soon-to-be-open location in New Boston. If you're looking to buy, build, or refinance, contact your very own game day correspondent, Jay Davis at State Bank, or visit their website at statebankofdecab.com. State Bank, your family, your bank.
So go see Jay Davis over there. We really appreciate State Bank, along with Joe Nichols, for being a part of helping bring you Texas high football right here on Texarkana Gameday in partnership, a wonderful partnership with TigerVision, as we are with the entire staff of TigerVision right here in this deer stand tonight. It's just a tight fit, folks. We've got the Hallsville team camera, Texas High team camera, and all of us in this booth. And so it is open, but it is a little warm and a little humid tonight, but we're going to all get it together. A little squiff kit. Looks like it's going to be go out of bounds. It'll be obviously a kick out of bounds and going to be a 5-yard penalty. Bring the ball out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're watching at home via Facebook, make sure you like and share this post. Also comment where you're watching from. We love to see where everyone's watching from each and every Friday night, live right here on Texarkana Gameday, your #1 source for Texarkana and the surrounding area high school athletics.
So Cody Reese is going to get the start tonight, as McHenry was, if you watched the game last week, he got removed from the game, disqualified from the game is what they say, and so Cody Reese is getting the start, and so should see McHenry in the second half of tonight's game. But Braylon Stewart is going to be in the backfield. Nate Minnie in at it's going to be H-back tight end position. You'll see him and Jaden Kelly rotating in. Sometimes they'll put a package in with both of them. Leading receiver on the team, Brandon Hall, along with Blake Rogers. And it looks like they're going to go bring Jaden and Minnie in. It's going to be Braylon Stewart up the middle as he goes off the left side of that line. And they're going to push and get a gain of 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, and he's going to be brought down by number 25. That is Isaiah McDonald. He's a 10th grader getting the start tonight on defense for Hallsville.
Talked to Cody Reese's dad before the game, and he was pacing a little bit on the sidelines. He was a little nervous with his son getting the start, but he's had a week of practice, and so he's ready to go tonight. Attempts his first pass, and it's going to be complete to Brandon Hall. And I would imagine if Cody gets a start next year, you'll see that connection quite a bit, as the sophomore is having a phenomenal year this year.
Yeah, number 11, Zach Southard. He's going to come up with a big tackle right there.
So going to bring up 3rd down and 8 on the play. Reese back to pass, his second attempt of the game, and it's going to be complete across the middle. It's going to be Xavier Dangerfield, and Dangerfield's going to break free. And with a shoestring tackle, is going to be brought down at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers after the big gain.
Yeah, and some nice speed to break away right there. The free safety, Kalen Reed, just got a shoestring and brought him down, but a huge gain right there for the Tigers.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Stewart gets the first down carry, dances his way, picks his way around, and he's going to have a gain right at the first down marker. They're going to give him 9, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 1, a very short one for the Tigers.
A great job by the left side of that offensive line. John Jack and Nick Batten over there, along with Richard Jackson, just making way for Stewart to get around and right close to the first down.
So number one thing I see about Stewart is he's a really patient runner, waits for that hole to open up. And as you can see on that play, once again, waits again, runs a lot like Le'Veon Bell does that really, really well in the NFL. So going to bring up 1st and goal for the Tigers inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and we just got done talking about the left side, and now the right side opens up a huge hole and takes it down to the 8.
Hands it off once again. Stick with the one that's dance with the one that brung you. So it's going to be inside the 5-yard line, down at the 3, as Stewart has the carry there. Going to bring up 2nd and goal. Live here at Bobcat Stadium. Tigers threaten to take the lead after Hallsville's opening drive lends 3 points. Hands it off to Stewart. Stewart going to be dropped for a loss back at the 4-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd down and goal at the 4.
Yeah, number 41, the middle linebacker, Landon Schwint. He came in and made a great stop right there on Stewart. One more step, and he was into the end zone, going to bring up a big 3rd down for the Tigers.
So if you're just now joining us, Cody Reese getting the start after McHenry was disqualified last year. Expect to see him, last week. Expect to see him in the second half. Cody Reese is quarterback keeper as he has the speed but can't break the tackle. It's going to be brought down, and I would imagine the field goal unit's going to come in. Then again, Stanford's known to go for it a little bit, but he's going to send Austin Miller in to kick, as it is 4th down at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and so far the Bobcats have come out and jumped on the Tigers quick. Took it down the field and scored 3, and then a big 3rd down stop right there to force the Tigers into a field goal situation.
So Austin Miller in to kick the 20-yard field goal. Blake Rogers in the hole. Kick is up, and the kick is good.
It's good.
And it's going to be tied at 3, and so with 7:16 left here in the first quarter, your score is knotted up at 3. You're watching Tiger football right here on Texarkana Gameday and TigerVision. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back here to Bobcat Stadium, where we're knotted up at 3 after both teams on the first drive score, as Austin Miller kicks it deep to number 35, Kyron Rosborough. He's going to be brought down just outside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and you love the hustle of a kicker running downfield, and Austin Miller, he pushes him out of bounds. He wasn't going to let him have a big return like the last time. And as Eric mentioned when we came back from the break, we're tied up 3-3, as you can see on our Commercial National Bank scoreboard. We appreciate them for being such a big sponsor of Texarkana Gameday.
So going to see if the Tiger defense made some adjustments during that last offensive drive in order to stop those big plays, as they went 5 wide to begin, and now they're going to go single back with doubles on one side and a single receiver. Going to send a man in motion, and going to be flushed out of the pocket as he's got a receiver downfield, and it's almost intercepted there by one of the Tigers, number 21.
Yeah, 21, couldn't see him there for a second. That's Tyreek Robinson, the 6'1" senior. The safety came in and almost had a big pick.
So that Tiger defense is looking to stop Nicholson tonight and Rogas. Those are 2 great athletes that have been great contributors for the Bobcats this year, along with Mosley at quarterback. Mosley is a great leader for the team, the junior, 6'1", 175 junior for the Bobcats. So going to go single back once again as Nicholson gets the handoff, going to take it to to the right side of that offense and going to be run out of bounds, but not before a gain of 6. Going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and a nice job blocking there by the Bobcats, getting out in space, locking on somebody and getting some yards. Going to make it 3rd down and manageable. Number 21, Tyreek Robinson, going to get out there and finally make the stop.
So going to bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Bobcats. Once again, that Tiger defense looking to go 3 and out once again, as they've done all year long and done a great job. Going to move Derek Brown over to this side. Looking for the screen. Intercepted. Derek Brown with the interception. He's at the 15, 10, 5. Call it pick 6. Touchdown Tigers.
But there is a flag on the play. I'm having flashbacks of last week.
Yeah, I think we're going to have an offsides penalty on the Tigers as they jump, but Derek Brown read that play very, very well.
And the quarterback didn't know if he knew the flag was thrown or not, but he just kind of flung the ball out into the flats, and Derek Brown, being as big as he is, 6'5", he just reached up and snatched it out of there.
Yeah, before I could finish the call on that play, the Hallsville coach is up here. He's pointing at the flag like, you see that right there. So it's all in fun, man. We all get along. It's great. So going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Bobcats after the penalty. Ball is at the 44-yard line of the Bobcats, as they tried to set up the screen on that last play that Brown read so well. So hand it off to Nicholson. Nicholson's going to take it up the middle and be stuffed as soon as he hits the line of scrimmage. He might have a gain of 1. Going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, and that's Derek Brown on the stop. He just grabbed a hold of him and held him up until the whistles blew. And like Eric said, maybe half a yard on the play.
I don't think Coach Stanford was really happy with that last call on the offsides penalty. He's having a conversation with the official on that sideline, as it's 2nd down and 9 for the Bobcats, as Mosley gets the signal from the sideline. Rogas gets lined up, make sure that he's off. And going to be a bad snap, and his helmet's going to come off. But when his helmet comes off, the play is dead for the safety of the player. Kind of reminds you of back in the day with Jason Witten when his came off. So Mosley going to be brought down in the backfield after his helmet came off. 3rd down and 12. So 3rd down and 12 at the 44-yard line. So if you're watching us tonight, let us know where you're watching from. Love to.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, Eric. I was trying to get my phone refreshed. I thought we were frozen on Facebook, but we've got some folks tuning in from Dallas. D. Queen, our good buddy down there who's working the D. Queen School District stuff now. And then also someone tuning in. Let's see, where were they at? There was somebody I wanted to call out. Now I can't see it, but I'll find it here in a minute.
So it's going to be timeout on the field for Hallsville, as 5:20 left here in the first quarter. Folks, we know that the time clock is not on the screen, so we're going to keep you updated. And so that's going to be the Bobcats' first timeout. And so, Brian, so far we've seen a close contest with a 3-3 tie here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and the Bobcats came out firing on all cylinders, took it right down the field in a short amount of time. They ended up coming up with 3, could not get it into the end zone, and the Tigers came out and looked almost exactly the same. Drove it all the way down the field and then stalled inside the 10 and only come away with 3 points. We might be in for a pretty good game here.
And if you're the Tigers, from an offensive perspective, I mean, Cody Reese led the offense very, very well. Obviously, a week of practice helps him. Coming in off of last week after he had to come in for McHenry. And so, you know, you say congratulations to him. Man, the team really rallied around him and did a great job in calling the offense and getting the ball out quick as on the quick slants across the middle. So as we resume play here, it's going to be 3rd down and 12. Ball is at the 43-yard line of the Bobcats. So going to fake the handoff to Nicholson, going to roll out, going to be chased as he is going to be hit.
Yeah, and that's number 27, Javarius Tyson, who came up with a big hit on the quarterback right there, but Darren Finley was on his heels number 16, Ian Crite, who was right on his heels chasing him down. A great job again by Ian Crite getting his first start last week. We called his name multiple times, even scored a touchdown in his first start, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
4th down and 12. In to punt for the Bobcats is going to be Ontiveros. As back deep for the Tigers is going to be Brandon Hall. And it looks like Jalen Jones is back in the game, so excited to see that. And punt is going to go out of bounds. Going to be a short punt as we wait for the spot. It's going to be spotted at the 44. They're going to call it the 43-yard line of the Tigers. So the Tigers are going to begin with great field position.
Yeah, and we've got some folks tuning in from Dallas, Texas, and Little Rock, Arkansas. We appreciate you for tuning in. Looks like my mother-in-law is tuning in. Got to make sure I give her a shout-out over in Magnolia. Make sure I don't get in trouble by her.
Mother-in-law is just looking for inheritance. Sorry. Ball handed off to Braylon Stewart up the middle as that offensive line goes to work once again, leaning on that defensive line of the Bobcats. It's going to bring up 2nd down after a gain of, call it 3 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, Isaiah McDonald, number 25, getting the start tonight for the Bobcats. He's already got 2 tackles.
So Jaden Kelly in the game at the H-back position. Going to get going to get Braylon Stewart, and he's going to break free. Going to be run out of bounds inside the 35-yard line.
And Malachi Silman, he took a big stiff arm. I don't know if we got a camera down there or not, but he took a big stiff arm when Stewart turned the corner there, and then finally Zach Southard ran him out of bounds.
So going to bring up 1st and 10. I said inside the 35, must have stepped out earlier than that. It's going to be at the 39-yard line. Once again, ball's on the ground as tried to pull it out, but Cody Reese gets on it very quickly. A little miscommunication between Reese and the running back there, but going to bring Stewart's going to go out, going to bring in Trent Kelly. Is usually going to be a blocking back, and Xavier Dangerfield is going to come in the game. A lot of changes, trying to get everybody's names out there. That's kind of what we try to do, is call as many of these kids' names. Cody Reese with a tunnel screen gets it over to Brandon Hall, but Brandon Hall is going to be met immediately.
Yeah, number 41, the middle linebacker, Landon Schwint. He read it just right in the nick of time, along with number 19, Kalen Reed. They sniffed the tunnel screen out. You know, we've talked about the tunnel screen. You're not a fan of it. I am a fan of it. The only reason why is because I've seen it run to perfection. And for a tunnel screen to work, it has to be run really well.
It has to be run really, really well. It's a low percentage play if it's not run well.
That's right.
So, going to get it to Blake Rogers. Blake Rogers is going to step out of bounds immediately.
I think that's going to be enough for a 1st down.
And right at the sticks, should be a 1st down. 1st down, Tigers at the 29-yard line.
And you talk about high percentage plays. When you throw the ball to Blake Rogers, it's a pretty high percentage play.
I think I've seen him drop just a few passes. 9 receptions, 62 yards. He averages 18 yards a carry with 2 touchdowns this year. And last week, he caught a ball in the end zone, and, man, he got smoked but held on to the ball. And congratulations to him on that touchdown last week, being homecoming week, the senior. So Reese back to pass, going to be flushed out of the pocket, throws it on the run. Ball is going to be just a little bit high as he was looking for Xavier Dangerfield on the sidelines.
Yeah, and I may be a little partial, but I'd love to see number 18 catch a touchdown.
Yeah, I bet his whole family loved to see him. So Trent Kelly's going to check out, and Braylon Stewart's going to check back in the game as Nate Minnie and Jaden Kelly come in to the ball game as we've got 2nd down and 10 on the play. Ball is at the Bobcat 29-yard line. Cody Reese with a quick out to Blake Rogers. Blake breaks a tackle, spin move, and is going to have another 1st down. And so it's going to bring up 1st and 10 inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, number 32, Derek Dunn Jr., he makes the tackle, but not after. There he is once again wearing number 9. Mr. Reliable comes up with another catch.
So Mr. Reliable. That's what we're going to nickname Blake Rogers, as Mr. Reliable. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 18-yard line. Braylon Stewart with a carry up the middle, very patient. You can tell he's really worked on that. So
yeah, number 41, Landon Schwint, and number 32, Derek Dunn Jr. on the tackle there. Great job by both of those guys wrapping up and not letting Stewart get loose into that backfield.
So going to go up tempo, a little bit quicker here. Going to fake the handoff, going to roll out. He's got a man, and it's going to be touchdown Tigers. Nate Minnie, my man, called it.
And boy, if I was a betting man, I'd win some money. There it is right there. And we're going to see that one tomorrow. I'm going to make sure Morgan Smith pulls that one out, but not only because I want to see it, but what a great catch. Nate Minnie, he's got good hands. We've seen him catch a couple passes. He goes up and catches it, nothing but hands right on the goal line, and the big senior tight end gets his first touchdown of the season.
3rd reception, first touchdown of the season. Austin Miller in for the point attempt after. Blake Rogers on the hole. Kick is up, and Austin Miller remains perfect on the season from the extra point line. So with 2:07 left here in the first quarter, Texas High takes the lead 10-3. You're watching Tiger football right here on Texarkana Gameday along with TigerVision. We'll be back after these messages.
Providing excellent customer service while keeping everyone safe is a top priority here at State Bank. We are making your banking experience safer and easier with our new curbside banking program. Almost anything you need to do inside the branch can now be accomplished with curbside banking. Need to open an account, pick up a debit card, or hands-on help with mobile banking? Just pull into a designated curbside spot, call the number on the sign, and a State Bank team member will come assist you quickly. We are excited to bring you this convenience and are thankful to serve you. Your family, your bank, State Bank.
And we are back where your Commercial National Bank score is 10-3 in favor of the Texas High Tigers right here at Bobcat Stadium with 2:07 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors: Texarkana Physical Therapy, Katera Networks, Texana Bank, Total Medical Supply, AmCare, Flying Burger, and Rocasa. We appreciate them for being sponsors of Texarkana Gameday and making it possible to bring you this live action right here in Hallsville.
So Austin Miller's kick goes into the end zone, and Rogas just lets it roll. So going to be a touchback, going to bring the ball out to the 25-yard line where the Bobcats will have 1st and 10. 2:07 left here in the first quarter, and you called it, my friend, Nate Minnie on the touchdown.
Yeah, I'm not right too many times, but I was glad to see him get a touchdown. He works hard, and really good kid.
Yeah,
really good kid.
Got an offer to SAU to play football where his mom and dad went to school.
Where I went to school as well.
Nobody cares about that.
I would love for him to go play at SAU.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 25. Going to have a little throwback. Mosley on the throwback, going to get it out to number 28, Ethan Miller. And Miller's going to have a nice little gain as it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, and Coach Stanford's over there saying that he threw it in front of the line of scrimmage. It was pretty close. There were linemen downfield. You know, I think that he might have a good argument, but nonetheless, there's no review and no replay in high school football, so it's a first down for the Bobcats.
So 1st down and 10 at the 41-yard line of the Bobcats after the nice gain by Ethan Miller. So Mosley hands it off to Nicholson. Nicholson's going to be met immediately in the backfield. Might have got a half yard. Going to bring up 2nd down, and we'll give him a yard. 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, number 31, Tyler Harris is in the game right now. He comes up in there with a couple other Tigers to make the stop.
So rolling in a lot of different guys tonight, so we apologize if we're not immediate on the names, but we're going to get, if your mama's watching, we're going to call your kid's name as much as possible.
That's right.
So going to be one of those wide receiver screens as Mosley gets it out to Gott.
And it works real well if you grab a little jersey there. And so a little pull of the jersey out there. Coach Stanford is not a happy camper over there.
Well, you know, you're going to fight for your team with everything you can, and you prepare for one team. You don't want to have to face two, but at the same time, you got to do your job. So going to go stack receivers on the near side with a single receiver at the top of the route, at the top of the play. So nice little look. Going to hand it off to Nicholson. I would imagine I'd seen this play watching him last week. Nicholson's going to break free. He is inside the 20 and going to be run out of bounds, but not before a huge gain by Nicholson. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and a nice little run there, getting everyone to look down here with this stacked receiver set and then handing it off. A nice game before number 22, Michael Thomas, finally runs him out of bounds.
So 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 20 as they get the signal from the sidelines. Really, look, both offenses look a lot alike in how they set up. Looking to pass it, almost lost the ball as Mosley was showing quarterback keeper, but then tried to throw it and almost lost the ball.
Yeah, and Darren Finley and C.J. Brown coming in there, they weren't fooled. Darren Finley coming on in there and grabbing a hold of the quarterback, taking him down to the ground. Had a lot of linemen downfield. Not sure if they were trying to set up that tunnel screen again or what, but it didn't work that time. Going to be a loss of 3 yards.
So loss of 3 on the sack. So would you give them a half sack apiece?
I would, yes.
Yeah. So we're counting down to the final seconds of the first quarter. Going to take us to the second quarter as looks like Hallsville is going to call it good. And so with that, we're going to take a break with Texas High leading the Bobcats after the first quarter 10-3. We'll be back after these messages. You're listening or watching.
Or both.
Or both. Tiger football right here on Texarkana Gameday along with TigerVision.
I'm Dr. Matt Young from Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital. We have expanded to increase our outstanding services for our community. We are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are a full-service emergency department and are now offering inpatient services and outpatient imaging. Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, real ER without the wait, where your hometown physician owners are always here for you.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire good people. It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills for the right jobs. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
And we're back here at Bobcat Stadium here in Hallsville, Texas for Texas high school football, where the Texas High Tigers lead the Bobcats 10-3.
This quarter is going to be brought to you by Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital. Go give Dr. Young and his staff a visit over at 4646 Calhoun Creek Road or give them a call at 903-838-8000.
Mosley going to be flushed out of the pocket, looks to run, but is going to be met right at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. It looked like almost like a busted play, but there was great coverage downfield on that.
Yeah, and a nice job by the safety, C.J. Brown. He's a 6-foot junior coming in and wrapping up the quarterback and getting the whistle to blow before he could get anything out of that play.
So 3rd down and 13. So the ball is spotted at the 24-yard line. So as Mosley looks over to the sidelines along with the rest of the offense, or excuse me, rest of the skill players. Gets his line, calls the play, fakes the handoff to Nicholson. Got a man across the middle. It's going to be number 88, Jack Holliday. And Holliday is, excuse me, I'm wrong. That is number 28, Ethan Miller. And Ethan Miller with the catch across the middle, and that's going to bring up 1st and goal for the Bobcats.
Tyreek Robinson reached out and grabbed a hold of that jersey, or else he was going into the end zone. He brought him down. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Bobcats.
1st and goal. It's going to be, once again, Miller at the H-back position with Nicholson in the backfield. As expected, Nicholson up the middle, touchdown Bobcats, as Nicholson is in, the senior for the Bobcats, who is their leading rusher and receiver.
Yeah, and folks, if you're looking for a game, we've got one right here in Hallsville.
I talked to Coach before the game from the Bobcats and just kind of finding out how their season's gone, and just been injuries, but they've got everybody back. And so looks like Hallsville is here to play tonight against the Tigers and are not intimidated. And so with 10:32 left here in the second quarter, it is a tie ball game, all knotted up at 10-10, and probably not as tight of a game as we expected tonight.
Yeah, we were expecting for the Tigers to come out firing on all cylinders and to run away with this one quick, but that's not what we got. And Eric, let's take a moment to talk about the Texarkana Gameday app. And so you'll see on our screen our Texarkana Gameday app. Go over to the App Store, download the new Texarkana Gameday app. You can keep updated on scores, notifications, all kind of news and schedule, rosters, everything for all of your Texarkana schools right there on the free, yes, I said free, Texarkana Gameday app. So make sure you go over and download that.
Well, speaking of scores, in our in-district play, Marshall and Jacksonville are squaring off at Marshall, as Marshall leads Jacksonville 14-7 at the beginning of the second quarter. White House is down to Mount Pleasant 7-0 at the beginning of the second quarter, and Pine Tree is leading Nacogdoches 9-6 with about 5 minutes left in the first quarter. And just down the road, folks, at the end of the first quarter, Pleasant Grove Carthage facing off, where it is 3-0 Carthage at the end of the first quarter.
And this quarter right here is brought to you by Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, where physicians have been hand-selected and are the most respected emergency physicians in the community, with over 50 years of experience working in emergency rooms across the hospital. Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital is your superior choice in minor or major emergency care in Texarkana. Go visit Dr. Young and his staff, or go by and see them at 4646 Calhoun Creek Road in Texarkana. Real care, real convenience, real capabilities.
So Blake Rogers on the reception of the kickoff. And he's going to get the ball out just across the 30-yard line at the 31, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers as they begin with decent field position. To me, anything beyond the 25 that's given to you is decent field position. So 1st and 10 as we see McHenry making his first appearance. Cody Reese is back in at quarterback. Sometimes it's hard to see numbers until they turn to the side, so I apologize. So going to be Braylon Stewart on the carry.
Yeah, number 56, Cortavian McMillan. He comes up. He's a junior defensive end for the Bobcats. Comes up with a big stop right there.
Tell you what, Braylon Stewart is having a great season. Coming into the game, 71 carries, 479 yards before we began tonight, 6.75 average per carry. I mean, that's Division I numbers in my opinion.
And one game they haven't gotten to play. There's no telling what he would have had.
So Cody Reese is going to go around the side and keep it, and he's going to try to stay in bounds. Going to be run out of bounds, and is going to have a great gain as Cody shows off that speed that he has. Going to be inside of Bobcat territory at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and that right there is why Cody Reese is such a great athlete. He's got some wheels on him, and when he gets into the open field, not many people can catch him.
So bring up 1st and 10 inside of Bobcat territory. Going to hand it off to Braylon Stewart. Stewart's going to break free and says, Nicholson, you can do that. Watch what I can do now, too.
Yeah, talking about wheels, there's another guy that's got a set of wheels on him.
So, I mean, folks, it is the battle of the two great running backs here in the district as Nicholson and Stewart are here in the game. Be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up going to be a game of who can make the least mistakes, because right now both running backs are having great success.
Going to hand it off to Trent Kelly, fresh legs coming in the game, and he's going to wiggle and bob and weave and going to get inside the 25, brought down at the 23-yard line, as it's going to be second down and 9.
Yeah, nice little run there by Kelly, squeezing through a small hole and then getting on up the field.
Second down and 1. I was corrected by Mr. A, as he is a professional football spotter for me. So going to give it back to Kelly once again, and he's going to barrel his way up the middle. Going to have enough for the first down. Should be first and goal for the Tigers. Looks like it's inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, just barely inside, or right on the 10-yard line.
So first and goal at the 10. Nate Minnie in the game, who scored the touchdown, the only touchdown of the game for the Tigers thus far.
Throw it to him again, Coach.
Got Brandon Hall, who's coming in motion, and they're going to pitch it to Brandon. Brandon's going to try to get around the end, and is going to fight for yardage. And it depends on where he stepped out. Going to give him 2. Going to be second down and goal at the 8.
Yeah, and that'll go down as a pass.
Yeah.
On the stats for Reese. If you notice, he did pitch it in front of him, so that play is actually, if he doesn't hand it to him, if he pitches it, then it'll go down as a pass. So he's got 2 more passing yards.
Folks, if you see that in college football a lot, they'll run that little jet, and looks like a pass, and the reason they do that, because if it's dropped, it's an incompletion instead of a fumble. Hand it off to Stewart again. Stewart's going to fight, trying to get to the end zone. And, man, what a tough run there. A hard 3 yards, going to bring up third and goal for the Tigers inside the 5 at the 4.
Yeah, and there was a lot of purple being shed off right there. He shed a couple tackles. It looked like he ran a lot further than what he did. He's fighting for every yard. Don't be surprised to see him give it to him again right here.
So third and goal for the Tigers at the 4. Is going to see if we can punch it in here. Take the lead as we got a 10-10 tie with 8:15 left here in the first half. Going to back it up 5 yards as we have a false start on the offense. And it's going to bring up fourth down and goal. Going to send on the kicking unit as Austin Miller's going to come in to kick.
Yeah, and he did get 5 yards there on the play.
So Austin Miller's been a busy man with a field goal, an extra point, and here's another field goal thus far. And with all the kicking duties of kickoffs and everything else. So it's had a lot of activity so far tonight. 7:40 and counting left here in the first half. Kick is up, low snap, and the kick is good. Great recovery there by Blake Rogers. So with 7:34 left here in the first half, Tigers lead 13-10.
We want to give a big thanks to some of our sponsors that make it possible. That was the word I was looking for. Make it possible for us to come out and bring you Texas High football at home and on the road this season. A couple of our sponsors here: Eagle Dental, Rocasa, Red River Lumber, Browning Homes, Texas Farm Bureau, Dr. Pepper, Express Employment, Kelly Ashbrook State Farm, Stone Studio, Sport Clips, Air Temp, and Sports Magic. We appreciate all of our sponsors for Texarkana Game Day for making this possible. We also want to give a big shout out to TigerVision. We've got students up here running the cameras. We've got our main man, Mr. Doty, up here, who is producing for us tonight. Of course, Mr. A, who's keeping Eric in line all night long. And so it's hot. It's humid in this deer stand that we're in, but we're making it happen.
We are making it happen, I can promise you that. Working our way around 4 different cameras up here, and everybody's helping us out and spotting flags and making sure we understand where the yardage is, and so we appreciate everybody's help tonight. Austin Miller on the kickoff, and he's going to kick it deep once again. Man, Austin's doing a great job. 2 touchbacks on the night, and for a kicker, that's great stats when you're trying to go to the next level. So 7:34 left here in the first half. Tigers lead 13-10 as the offense of the Bobcats come back on the field. Mosley leading his team back on the field as he is the quarterback. Brings up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line of the Bobcats. So Marshall's taking a bigger lead on Jacksonville 17-7. As you may can hear over the mic as our P announcer has made note of that. So that would district play, so you got to keep up with who's in first and seeding for the playoffs and everything else. Hand off to Nicholson. Nicholson's going to be brought down after a gain of 5, a hard 5.
Yeah, and a couple Tigers in on the tackle right there. He drug a couple guys for 5 hard yards right there. And again, we're seeing great play out of both running backs for both teams tonight.
Want to give shout outs to your mother-in-law. My wife, Angie, is watching right now. So I want to tell her thank you for watching, number one, but thanks for allowing me to do this. She is at the house watching tonight. So love you, babe.
Number 7, Braxton White on the tackle right there. But yeah, we got to give shout outs while we're out doing this.
Well, it's not just
so
shout outs.
we don't get in trouble.
But that one's a whole different level shout out, I can tell you that. So really appreciate her very much. We've been married 22 years, Brian. 22 years, man. Beautiful years. And working on 23.
We need to get her on at halftime next week and see what she says about it.
Oh, she'll say it's wonderful. Best thing that ever happened to her.
Yeah.
No. Best thing that ever happened to me, I can promise you that. So Nicholson on the carry, going to be brought down immediately. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
She says she loves you. See, my mother-in-law, when I gave her a shout-out, she didn't say she loved me in the comments.
Well, that's your mother-in-law. Because you're the son outlaw.
We see Mr. Nichols tuning in. First quarter was sponsored by State Bank. We appreciate all of our people over at State Bank. And Jay Davis, our man.
Is he watching?
No, he's not watching.
Oh, I was about
I'm
to
just
say.
giving him a shout-out while we mention State Bank again.
He should be focused on the PG game, not watching us.
Yeah.
2nd down and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Bobcats, as Mosley's going to fake the handoff, but probably going to regret that decision as he's going to be brought down for a pretty significant loss.
Yeah, and Ian Cright on the stop once again. We've gotten used to calling his name over the last 2 weeks, and he's a great player.
Struggling over there.
I'm struggling a little bit. I got some of that.
Cajun Tex.
Yeah. It's working on me right now.
If you haven't been to Cajun Tex in Marshall, man, we ate there on the way up. And that is one special thing when you travel and do this. You get to eat at a little hole in the wall in different places. And that was some good eating there in Marshall, Texas. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 16. Going to fake the handoff. He's got a man across the middle and going to be picked off by the Tigers by number 21, Tyreek Robinson, and Robinson's going to return it inside of the Bobcat territory. Going to be run out of bounds inside the 20. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and that's going to be his 4th INT on the season.
Yeah, Tyreek Robinson is just an interception machine. So he ran right through the receiver there. No PI, just ran through it, grabbed the ball, and it was off to the races. That's going to set up the Tigers in great field position. They need to capitalize right here.
And when you're playing that safety position, that's your job. You see the field a lot better and able to respond a little bit easier to those passes across the middle. So congratulations to him on his 4th INT of the season. Going to bring the Tiger offense back on the field. Cody's going to hand it off. Reese. Cody Reese is going to hand it off to Braylon Stewart on the carry. He's going to take it up the middle. Going to be just outside the 5 at the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal. 2nd down, and we'll call it 4.
Number 51, DJ Huggins, in on that tackle for the Bobcats.
Braylon Stewart with the carry once again. He's going to approach the goal line. Big push by the offensive line. Touchdown, Tigers. As Braylon Stewart gets in once again for his 8th touchdown of the season.
Yeah, and a great run there by Stewart. A nice job by the offensive line to just keep on pushing all the way down. He was stood up right on the goal line, and the big lineman from Texas High get behind him and get him into the end zone. Stewart comes up holding maybe his arm or his shoulder right here as he walks back over to the sideline. We hope he's okay.
So Austin Miller in Well, the point attempt after. Perfect snap, perfect hold, kick is up, and the kick is good as he remains perfect once again as the Texas High extends the lead 20-10 after the interception with 4:33 left here in the first half. You're watching Tiger football right here on Texarkana Gameday along with TigerVision.
A shield against the elements. Comfort in the midst of chaos. Shelter in the aftermath of destruction. For 75 years, Shelter Insurance has remained true to our promise to be there when you need us most. This is the heartbeat of our company, our why. Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life.
In Arkansas, see Brian Bolt for a free insurance review.
And your Commercial National Bank scoreboard is Texas High 20, Bobcats 10 as we return here. 4:33 left in the first half as Texas High cashes in on a State Bank touchdown right
That's
there
right. That is
after
right.
the INT. So Austin Miller set to kick it off, has 2 touchbacks on the night. Let's see if he can get a third here.
There it
Kick
is.
is going to be deep, and
Rogas
Rogas he's going to bring it yard deep in the end zone, and Rogas is going to be bottled up inside the 20-yard line, going to be brought down at the 18 where it'll be 1st and 10 Bobcats.
Yeah, and that was number 39, Tyler Thomas, on the stop there for the Tigers. You got some score updates for us?
I'm going to give you some here in a minute, but we want to say hello to Casey Merriman as she is watching from home tonight. And so she is a TigerVision assistant. So Mr. A and all the team, as well as Brian and I, want to say hello to Casey Merriman. And so we appreciate you watching and joining in as your students are doing a great job tonight, Miss Merriman. I can tell you that these students are phenomenal and do exceptional work. And so I know if some people are looking for some video teams to come in and do some things, holler at TigerVision. Those students can take care of business as well. Pressured by Derek Brown, and pass is going to be complete out to number 28, Ethan Miller, but Miller thought he was out of bounds, but he was about a yard short of out of bounds, and he gets rocked.
I don't know if he thought he was out of bounds or he knew that Tyreek Robinson was coming downhill fast from his safety position. Tyreek and Javarius Tyson both come in and lay a lick on him. It wasn't much of a gain.
So going to bring up 2nd down, going to set up the screen to Nicholson, and Nicholson is going to be brought down immediately after he catches it. As number 61 was trying to block.
Yeah, Javarius Tyson wasn't having any of it. Man, he plays so well at that linebacker position. And, you know, I hate not seeing my boy Jackson Halter out there anymore. But, man, Javarius Tyson is playing some good football for the Tigers.
Javarius Tyson brought down 61 Jernigan along with Nicholson. He said, hey, I can bring both of you down. Get out of the way and watch this.
Yeah, and a couple people asking on Facebook what's going on with the starting quarterback for the Tigers. Eric, why don't you tell them a little bit about that?
So last week, if you get 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, it is a disqualification, and so you have to sit out. I don't know if that's a UIL rule, but
a full game.
A full game, and so he set out the second half of last game, first half of this game. So we look to see McHenry back in at the beginning of the second half, and so we expect him to come in. 4th down for the Bobcats.
Yeah, great coverage there by the Tigers. They had nowhere to go with the ball, and so that's going to bring up 4th down and long. Going to give another opportunity with 3:29 left to go before halftime for the Tigers to extend their lead.
So we've had some people ask if we're going to be showing the band at halftime. We will be showing the band at halftime as Brian and I will break away so that you can enjoy the halftime show of our High Steppers and that Texas high school band that we believe that we win halftime every week.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, great field position for the Tigers. I think that's going to be about a 15-yard punt that went out of bounds there by the Bobcats, and man, it's going to be great field position for the Tigers to capitalize right here with 3:23 left to go before halftime. This would be a very big time for them to punch it in the end zone.
It's going to be on the record books as a 11-yard punt.
11. See, I gave it a little more than that.
And so it's going to be an 11-yard punt as it come off the side of his foot. So we're 1st and 10 for the Tigers as they try to punch it in with 3:23 left here in the first half. Cody Reese in at quarterback. Flanked to his left by Trent Kelly. Reese back to pass, going to be flushed out of the pocket. Got a flag on the play in the area of holding of the Tigers, and Cody Reese takes a shot.
Yeah, and one of the interior linemen right there, someone ran right by him, and he reached out and grabbed him, held him just a little bit there so they didn't get a big shot on the quarterback. And so it was one of those things, commit the penalty or take a big shot to your QB, and he's the second one in the game. You can't lose him right now. And, you know, you talk about halftime, we're going to have the bands. Not only are we going to have the greatest band in the land, but we are also going to have the greatest man in the land, the Tiger King himself.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jesus. I'm sorry. No.
In the land.
No.
Come on.
No, he's got his TikTok video that we, if you haven't seen it, I bet we've got
Cody,
it.
we got it tuned up? Okay, before we go to half, we're going to preview it.
Yeah. Reese back to pass. He's got Xavier Dangerfield across the middle, and they're going to get back to some of that penalty yardage and some more. Going to bring up, it's going to be 2nd down and 5. 2nd down and 5 for the Tigers with 2:55 and counting left here in the first half of this ball game. Tigers lead 20-10 as Trent Kelly is in at running back. Going to hand it off to Trent. Trent's going to get it around the corner. He's going to be brought down inside the 20-yard line. Going to have enough for the first down. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 19.
Yeah, Landon Schwint, a great linebacker for the Bobcats. He comes flying in with another tackle, but not after Kelly gets it across the first down marker. Going to put the Tigers in good field position right inside the 20 with 2:28 clock running before half.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Reese back to pass. Going to set up the screen. Going to be just a little bit high. Tried to hit Jaden Kelly right there in the middle as they tried to do a little H-back screen or tight end screen, and it was just a little high on the pass.
Yeah, and 2:20 left on the clock. The clock did stop on that incomplete pass. And as you can see on our Commercial National Bank scoreboard, the Tigers do lead by 10. They looking for another score before halftime.
Reese back to pass. He's got a man across the middle. On the slant was Blake Rogers, but Blake Rogers could not bring it down as it hit him in the right spot, which would be the hands, as Rogers comes up limping just a little bit, but I think he's going to be able to run it off.
Just a little. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say 2:14 left here in the first half.
Yeah, and he just ran a deep in route, ran the guy off on the inside, and he come in with a dig route across the middle and just a little bit out of the reach. That's the play that we see them run a lot to Blake Rogers because he's got such good hands. He stretched out, took a little bit of a hit there, but he's still in the game. Look for him to go back to him as they try to drive in.
They run that great route runner as well. Reese back to pass as he is looking, wanted to go across the middle. Looked like he was intended for Brandon Hall, but ball's going to be a little bit low. Looks like Coach Harrell, the O-line coach, is not happy with his O-line. I don't know what was the deal on that. Somebody missed an assignment or whatever, but it's going to be a field goal attempt by Austin Miller, as it is going to be a 39-yard attempt. Excuse me, not a 39-yard attempt. 36-yard attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is plenty good. So with 2 minutes, 2:01 left here in the first half, it's going to be Tigers 23, Bobcats 10.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we give a big shout out and a thanks to our first half sponsors, State Bank and Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital. We appreciate them so much for all that they do for Texarkana Gameday. And so if we've got a second, can we preview just a little bit? We don't want to run the whole thing, but give you a little shout out or a little preview of what we're talking about when we talk about Razorback Billy or the Tiger King. Either way, his TikToks every Friday. Everybody watch this.
It's game day. Wondering who y'all got?
Hey, Tony, who you got tonight?
Tigers by 90.
It's going to be fun at halftime, I promise you.
We'll watch the whole thing at halftime. But, man, we talk about it every week, and if people don't know, and we'll give a little plug to Billy right here, go and find him, Razorback Billy, on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, and he puts out a TikTok video every week for the Tigers. And, man, he'll get you pumped up for some Friday night football.
Austin Miller once again with a kick, and it's going to go through the end zone. And he's going to have his third touchback of the night with 2:01 left here in the first half. Tigers lead 23-10 as both bands are preparing for a great halftime shows by each. I know that they are entering contest season, and so we want to especially wish both bands, but especially the Tiger band, best of luck this year. I don't know if Four States is tomorrow or not, or when it's coming up, but I'm sure the Four States band competition is. Mr. A, when is that happening? It's going to be tomorrow at Grimm Stadium. So if you love to watch bands, and it's going to be tomorrow at Grimm Stadium, I believe, and it's going to be a great night, or a great day, I should say, of band competition. So Mosley's pass, as he's flushed out of the pocket, tries to go over the middle to number 1, Nicholson, but it's pass is high. It's going to fall incomplete with 1:55 left in the half.
Yeah, and Darren Finley on the coverage there. Almost another opportunity for that secondary of the Tigers to get another pick just out of the reach of the safeties there.
Folks, as soon as halftime hits, we are going to go to commercial pretty quick, as we're going to have to step out of the way in order for bands and high steppers. They all need to step in our spot and film their performances so that they can be better. A lot of pressure on Mosley as he gets that ball out to Gott, and Gott is going to be run out of bounds, but it's actually going to be a loss on the play. Excuse me, I'm wrong on that. I misread my down markers. Going to be a gain on the play of 6, going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, number 27, Javarius Tyson, come over there and pushed him out of bounds, but some big hits from the defensive line on the quarterback. He's going to have to stop taking those big hits. It's going to take a toll on him throughout the second half.
So 3rd down and 4 for the Bobcats as they look to the sidelines to get the play after they're going to be Nicholson in the backfield as they are down 23-10. We're getting close to halftime, and he's going to hand it off to Nicholson, and Nicholson's going to have enough for the first down as their coaches are trying to get them lined up and hurry up offense.
Yeah, and before we go to half, Eric will have an update on the Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital scores around the area before we go to half.
Pass across the middle, going to be intended for number 5, Rogas, but Rogas could not bring it down.
Yeah, nice job there by the free safety, Jalen Jones. He was right on his heels in very good coverage. The Tiger defense stepping up right here to try to keep them from scoring again before half with 1:29 left to go here in the second quarter.
So going to throw the wide receiver screen, and going to be for Gott. Gott's going to be run out of bounds after a gain of 3. Going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Michael Thomas there to force him out of bounds. Only took a couple seconds off the clock. 1:25. The clock is stopped.
As I was visiting with Coach, the same thing that McHenry's having to do. Rogas had to do it last week, had to sit out the the first half of last week's game against Jacksonville. So great to see him back in there, the senior, who is he's a talent for. And there's going to be Nicholson's going to get his helmet knocked off. There's going to be a flag on the play.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's being pulled, if his helmet was pulled off or if it was knocked off there. Let's see what this is going to be, but he's not happy about it, and he better be careful before he gets a flag. It was pulled off.
Yeah.
So not really sure why the young man is upset there. Kind of part of the game, but nonetheless, he comes off. It will be a big penalty there to put him in great field position with 1:20 left to go before halftime. That was a dagger right there for the Tigers.
1:20 left in the first half, 23-10. The Tigers lead. 15-yard penalty 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 40-yard line. Going to hand it off to, looks like going to be number 21, Bullard. Blade Bullard. Going to be brought down after a gain of 2.
Yeah, number 3, Derek Brown. He's been a little quiet tonight, and they've been double teaming up on him, keeping him away from the football, but he comes up with a tackle right there.
Take the handoff to Bullard. Bullard's going to stay in. Going to be flushed out of the pocket is Mosley, and Mosley's just going to throw it away.
Yeah, and he throws it over on the track. Looks like one of those flag runners for the Texas High Tigers comes up with the ball there. 48 seconds left to go before halftime.
You ever thought about being a flag runner?
I have not.
Yeah. It's like running with a parachute on a stick.
Well, those guys are young and in shape. I don't do too much running these days.
So it brings up 3rd down and 8 for the Bobcats. As Mosley's back to pass, going to get it out to Gaunt, Cam Gaunt, and Gaunt is going to fight for yardage as they don't bring him down, going to run him out of bounds with 39 seconds left here in the first half.
Got a nice little pitch and catch there for the Bobcats. Going to get them in decent field position inside the 30 with 39 seconds left to go, and the clock is stopped.
Looks like Nicholson is back in the game. Great. Got his composure. He's back in. So I can hear Coach Hawk hauling out the signals over there for his defensive line. And then as Mosley drops back to pass, and there is going to be nothing but Tigers in the backfield as he is going to be sacked for a huge loss.
Yeah, and they're going to have to call a timeout right here, but there was a lot of Tigers. Don't know if that was a breakdown in the play or the blocking there, but every defensive lineman on the Tiger defense was in the backfield right there to bring down the quarterback.
I know C.J. Brown was coming around the corner and was unblocked as he was one of the first ones to get to the quarterback on that sack. 32 seconds left here in the first half, and as we stated earlier, halftime show coming up as you'll be watching the Texas High drill team along with the Texas High Steppers.
That's right.
So make sure we call them by their correct name. I was at the indoor this week doing some things to get ready for an event coming up this Wednesday night at Pleasant Grove. We were filming Luke Smith as he's going to share his story at Fields of Faith, and saw the High Steppers working yesterday, and they are, let me just tell you, there's more athleticism there than a lot of people realize. They work really, really hard at what they do and are coached hard, and so they were in the indoor working out yesterday. So as we resume play, 32 seconds left. 2nd down and 18 for the Bobcats. And once again, under pressure is Mosley. And Mosley's going to high step one tackler. He run out of bounds.
Yeah, there's a flag on the play. I actually saw this when they've been double teaming Derek Brown all night, and this one's going to kind of be one of those high-low type penalties. One guy was cutting him while one guy was blocking him up top. You can't do that at any level, and so that one's going to come back.
So Coach Stanford's going to decline it. It's going to bring up 3rd down for the Bobcats. I misread Coach Stanford's body language, and he accepted that penalty. Going to be a chop block on the play, going to be a 15-yard penalty, and that's going to back them up even more. And it's going to be 2nd down and a zip code away for the Bobcats, as it is 2nd and 33 with 21 seconds left here in the first half.
We appreciate everyone for tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, or on the app. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you share the post. Also comment where you're watching from.
Mosley's pass almost intercepted as there was a breakdown, and guess who almost had
Javarius Tyson. He's probably so tired from making so many tackles in the first half. He just dropped it. I mean, it was right in the old bread basket there.
He hit him right where he wasn't supposed to hit him, the hands.
That's why he's on the defensive side of the ball.
Brings up 3rd down and 33, 17 seconds left here in first half. Misread there. They tried to hand it off to Nicholson, but Mosley's going to keep it.
Yeah, and that's number 24, Nathan Tyler Moore, who comes up with another tackle, and the clock down to 11 seconds.
So it'll be 4th down, and should have been winding the clock.
Yeah, I'm not sure why why they didn't just keep the clock winding down, unless Coach Stanford called a timeout.
It's going to be 11 seconds is what the clock is showing, so we're hoping to get an explanation from the official.
Coach Stanford saying run the clock. He doesn't want a timeout.
So it'll be a 10-second. So a helmet came off inside of 2 minutes. Going to be a 10-second runoff. And so
he's going to start the clock, and it will run off. We will have halftime. But before we go to halftime, we're going to have your score updates on the Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital halftime score updates.
In the second quarter, Marshall leading Jacksonville 44-14. Mount Pleasant at halftime ahead of White House 16-7. And Nacogdoches at halftime ahead of Pine Tree by 1, 13-12. And just around the corner from us, Carthage leads Pleasant Grove at half 3-0. That score a lot closer than a lot of people expected.
Yep.
Folks, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, your Texas High High Steppers along with the Texas High Tiger Fighting Band. We'll be back after these messages.
high stepper officers are Junior Lieutenant Emma Giddings, Senior Lieutenant Kalea Edmonds, Senior Lieutenant Leela Kinney, Senior Lieutenant Riley McDuffie, Senior Lieutenant Helen Clark Hayes, and Senior Captain Olivia George. The high stepper of the week is freshman Natalie Robinson. Our teacher of the week is Anita Badgett. Thank you, Mrs. Badgett, for all you do for THS. Our performance tonight is dedicated to you. Tonight, the high steppers will entertain you with their palm routine to High Hopes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Texas High Steppers. The Texarkana Independent School District proudly presents for your halftime entertainment the award-winning Texas High School Marching Tiger Band. The Tiger Band is under the direction of Arnie Lawson, Steve Bennett, Dylan Davis, Paul Stivens, Dominique Phillips, Kevin Sutton, Ryan Hadaway, and Brandon Sams. The Tiger Band is led on the field tonight by drum major senior Jennifer Silva. Tonight we present our 2021 competition show, The Web. Now, fans, please welcome the Tiger Marching Band. Texas High School Tiger Band. Tonight, the Tiger Band exits the field to the sounds of the Eyes of Texas. Tiger fans, feel free to sing along. Band members of the week are woodwind musician Riker Meadows, percussionist Hunter Yates, brass musician Ryan Wilson, color guard member Addison Salisbury. We would like to thank the Tiger Band, High Stepper Booster Clubs, and the administration and staff of TIS. of Miss Catherine Calloway and Miss Mandy Jenkins. And I'm Tyler Lohr, the voice of the Bobcat Bells. Presenting the 2021-2022 HHS Bobcat Band Majorettes and Flagpole. The auxiliary member of the band this week is Riley Niblett. The freshman marcher of the week is Grace Schultz. Sophomore marcher of the week is Jasmine Montoya. Junior marcher of the week is Jacob Hensley. Senior marcher of the week is Hannah Jones and Taylor Buchanan. And the band director over and beyond the award goes to Noah Jarrett. At this time, Bobcat Band.
Welcome back. We're here at Bobcat Field where the Tigers lead the Bobcats 23-10 with about 6 minutes before we head into more football action. The band from Hallsville is going to finish up their presentation. But right now we are joined by none only than the Tiger King himself, Mr. Billy Lavender, for one of the best parts of the halftime show. Billy, what's going on?
Happy to be here. It's always good to come up to the press box and get that good food y'all get to eat.
Well, there is always food. I'm not going to say it's always good, but there is always
food. It is at home.
That's
it is
right.
at home, right?
That's right.
Thanks to all our sponsors, right? Silver
That's
Spoon, Dixie Diner,
Ooh,
all of them.
That Silver Spoon
the banana pudding. Man, I'm telling you.
Woo. But, hey, before we get into talking about the football game, let's run that TikTok real quick so everybody at home can watch it.
Who you got tonight, Coach?
Tigers by 90.
Who you got, Coach?
Tigers by 90!
Hey, who you got tonight?
Tigers by 90.
Hey, Miss Reynolds, who do the high steppers have tonight?
We've got Tigers by 90.
Who you got tonight?
Tigers by 90.
Hey, Dr. Brew, who you got tonight?
Tigers by 90.
Hey, Mr. A, who you got tonight?
Oh, Tigers by 90, baby.
Hey, Cheer, who you got tonight?
Tigers by 90!
Man, the fan, and I'm afraid to ask you what your parting words are for it.
Tony, I got the Tigers by 90, baby. Let's go!
Oh, man. I never knew how dumb that looked.
Man, look, hey, and Mr. A in there, he gave the best performance. The best performance.
I walked in and I said, first of all, he was during a class, and I said, Mr. A, I need you really bad. He said, what do you need? I said, I just need you to. He said, come on in here, I got you. I mean, like I had called him and whatever. He said, do what? I said, just say it, Mr. A, come on. And he did real quick. I do want to say that was all done before work today at Texarkana Bank. I didn't do any of that during working hours. So to my good friends there. Anyway, no, that's a fun deal. And
tell everybody how it kind of came about.
So Brian and I kind of got together, and I had done a couple of deals last year during the playoffs and everything, and so it kind of got a little bit of notoriety or whatever. And so Brian and I talked. In fact, you came to me before the season started. You said, "Man, we ought to do this." So we got that first one together, and it kind of drew a lot of attention. So now it's kind of trying to one up it every week, and it's tough to come up with something, but we've managed to every week. So no, it's fun. The kids like it, and I mean, all the kids and coaches talk about it and stuff. So it's kind of.
Have you gotten a lot of followers off of it?
Yeah.
Do you get more and more?
I get a few extra every week.
You post them on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
I do it on TikTok, and then I'll post it on Facebook. Yeah, everywhere else.
Do you have a little blue check mark by your name on Instagram?
Not yet. Hey, but I'm looking for it. Well,
here's shameless plug. You go over right now.
Razorback Billy.
That's
there
right.
you go.
Razorback Billy on TikTok. We're trying to get that blue check mark.
Give me a blue check, baby. Hook us up.
That's right. And so, Billy, let's talk about some halftime adjustments. Let's get back to the football game. We've got about, I think there, 3 minutes left to go before we're going to start some football action, which I think it's going to be a little longer than that. The band's still on the field. Teams are not out warming up again yet. But, Billy, let's talk about some halftime adjustments. What have you seen from the Tigers that they need to improve on in the second half?
I'll tell you a couple of things that I really, really liked in the first half that I saw. I noticed on the first drive our offensive line blowing everybody off the ball, something we hadn't done all year. And I know they've been mismatched a lot, but they're blowing them off the line. When we stalled right near the goal line is when they put all their guys in the box. Yeah. So we were kind of outmanned there. And so if we would have, maybe sometime when we get down there, maybe we'll send it around the end or something. I'll tell you another thing I noticed. Cody Reese, first time to get some action this year. He came in for Brayson last week, but he looked a little bit out of sorts, coming in from receiver, not getting a lot of work during the week, and threw up, I think he threw 6 passes, completing 2, but a lot of them were on the run and everything, and look, like I say, kind of out of sorts. But tonight, man, he's standing in the pocket, throwing them, and we got some, Dangerfield. We got Brandon Hall, got Blake. They're all catching them for him. So so it really looks good. I'm guessing that Brayson's coming back during the second half, and try to get his feet back under him and get him rolling. Braylon Stewart's running hard. I mean, I just a lot of good things happen. I thought we made some plays on defense early that weren't normal. We got some, we didn't tackle well, and second half Tiger defense this year. Have we given up a bunch of points?
No,
I don't think so. No. And so, Coach Wilson, Coach Hawkins, all those guys will go in there, Campbell, all of them, and get their guys, make some adjustments. And but really, they scored their points early on, and so I look for this to be, we want to get some guys some work, so we want to get out to a really good jump on this second half and get some other guys in.
Yeah, and so just some numbers here. I think Braylon Stewart right now, 13 carries, 89 yards in the first half, almost close to the 100-yard mark already in the first half. Trenton Kelly, he comes in with I believe 3 rushes for maybe 28 yards, somewhere around there. And so both guys running the ball well and looking good. And so, like you said, hopefully, not hopefully. I mean, Reese has been doing a good job out there, but I'm sure we'll see Brayson McHenry back in there in the second half.
And not only do I want to see Brayson back, but I also want to see Cody back at receiver. Where he's supposed to be. So now we'll get all that, and we're pretty banged up this week, and got some guys out. So it's good to be up 13 at the half, and I think we'll come out and set the tone in the second half.
Yeah. And so before we go, we've got just a few moments. It looks like the Bobcats are out warming up on the field. The Tigers have not yet come out onto the field to begin the second half, but the marching band for the Bobcats still out performing, and so we'll be just a few minutes. But before we let you go, Billy, what about that touchdown by my man Nate Minnie?
Man, that was all. I'll tell you, here's the thing about that is from my angle over there, it was a unbelievable pass on the run from Cody through a fastball, and not only was it just a touchdown catch, but it was 2 inches off of the defender's fingers. And Nate, I don't think Nate could see it that well, even as big as he is, and it was an outstretched arms, and it was a great catch. And man, you cheer for Nate, man. He doesn't have many catches this year, hadn't been thrown to a whole lot, but wanted him to get that touchdown and thrown from his buddy Cody Reese. I mean, it was pretty cool.
Yep. And so before we take another break here, we'll be back with more Tiger action here in just a minute. I want to give a big thanks to Chick-fil-A of Central Mall over in Texarkana. They provide meals for all of the coaching staff for all of the teams in Texarkana for the home games, and so they provided meals today for the Liberty Ilo Leopards coaching staff. And then I know last week we had the Tiger meals, the Arkansas High meals, and so they provide meals for the coaching staff for every home game, and so we appreciate them for being a sponsor of Texarkana Gameday and providing the coaches with game day meals. Billy, got anything left?
Go Tigers!
All right, we'll be back with more football action in just a moment here on Texarkana Gameday with TigerVision.
It's a great stand when there's just two filmers up there. Yeah. But that's what it's designed to be. Is just two filmers. You know, the radio Now, the problem is that whenever you get later in the season, it gets too cold. The only difference is that the only thing you got to worry about is
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are getting ready to begin the second half of this contest, as both teams have come back on the field after a phenomenal halftime show by both bands. And so we are getting ready to kick off for the second half.
And this third quarter is going to be brought to you by Gregor Auto Group. The Gregor Auto Group wants to answer your questions to ensure that you see all the benefits that come along from choosing the Gregor Auto Group for your next purchase. With various locations and make it easy for you to find one of their dealerships near you. Some of the locations include Longview, Texarkana, and Destin, Florida. Go view the wide selection offered by Gregor Auto Group at gregorauto.com. Gregor Auto Group, exceeding expectations.
So you can go see Gregor Auto Group while you're on vacation. Go to Florida, enjoy some time off, and buy a car.
That's right.
It's not a bad
Or a
gig.
boat.
Or a boat.
Well, why don't you give us some Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital score updates?
Well, some scoring updates. Obviously here at Texas High is leading the Bobcats 23-10. Jacksonville is down to Marshall at halftime. Check out the score, Brian, 57-14.
Wow.
I would imagine the clock will run the second half of that one. Mount Pleasant is leading White House at half 16-7. And Pine Tree, once again, is trailing Nacogdoches 13-12. And Liberty Ilo is leading Van 19-14 at the end of the third. And Carthage, at the beginning of the third quarter, has jumped out on Pleasant Grove 17-0.
And Jalen Jones will finally scoop that one up after it's bobbled around a little bit. He'll scoop it up, get a couple yards, and that will start the drive with Brayson McHenry back in at quarterback for the Texas High Tigers.
And it looks like we may not see Braylon Stewart for the rest of the night, so it looks like Trent Kelly's going to have the workload for the second half as he's going to get the handoff. Going to take it up the middle. Going to have a gain of 1. Going to bring up second down and 9. It's great to see McHenry back on the field for the Tigers.
Yeah, and so you give one, you take one. And so we get McHenry back, and it looks like Stewart may be out with an injury. We're not sure, don't have an update yet on him, but it looks like he's not back out there on the field quite yet.
McHenry back to pass, tries to hit Blake Rogers coming on the slant, and going to be a little bit underthrown there. Going to bring up third down.
Yeah, and McHenry had to double pump that one. It was pretty good coverage out there by number 11, Zach Southard. And so a good job by the cornerback to get on Blake Rogers, and kind of messed up the timing there of the first pass of the night. Look for the quarterback QB coming back in, McHenry, to get his feeling back under him a little bit.
So back to pass is McHenry. He's going to hit Cody Reese, who was a quarterback in the first half. And Cody Reese is going to be brought down immediately on the catch, but he's going to have enough for a first down. Going to be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Keelan Fike bringing him down right there, but not after a good pitch and catch from McHenry to the starting quarterback on the night, Reese.
So we got Cody Reese, Brandon Hall, and going to be Blake Rogers out there. Looks like McHenry, a little busted play there, going to be brought down and sacked.
Yeah, he looked out at Cody Reese wanting him to throw the ball, and Cody Reese didn't think the ball was coming that way, so he wasn't running much of a route, and then there was pressure in the backfield, so it's going to be a loss for the Tigers.
That'll be one on film you learn a little bit from. With 10:40 left here in the third quarter, Tigers lead 23-10, looking to extend that lead here on the first drive of the second half. McHenry going to roll to his right, going to throw it, hit Brandon Hall on the run, and you're going to have a gain of approximately about 20 yards, and it's going to bring up first down and 10 for the Tigers just across midfield, if not right at midfield.
Yeah, and a nice flood concept there, run by the Tigers. Had a 5-yard out by the tight end, Nate Minnie, and then had a couple more deep outs going on there, and he hit the second one for the first down.
So McHenry back to pass. He's going to go deep. He's got a man, and they're going to have, looks like defensive holding or pass interference as the pass was intended for Blake Rogers.
Yeah, and the linebackers were coming hard right there. McHenry took a big hit, but he's up. He looks like he's okay, but yeah, Blake Rogers just couldn't get away from that defender, and now we see why.
So it'll be so we're going to bring up first down and 10 after the 10-yard penalty. So it'll be first and 10 for the Tigers at the 40-yard line of the Bobcats. We're going to get into Bobcat territory.
I think they were marking it off the wrong way there for a second, turned around, and he had to go 20 back the right way. He had marked it off 10 in the wrong direction.
As the Hallsville drum line, the Texas High drum line walks over and is going to have a little friendly drum off between them and the Bobcat band. Got to enjoy that a little bit.
You can't see it, but you can hear it. And so that's the Texas High band playing right now. The drum line.
I'm kind of enjoy the drum line. It's always fun, you know. So.
They get you hyped up.
Yeah, yours truly was on the drum line, so I
Were
enjoy
you?
I was a drummer. I still can play a little bit.
Can
so
you now?
yeah, my son's plays on a worship team up in Missouri right now, so pretty proud of him. Trent Kelly on the carry. It's going to bring up third down after gain of 2, third down and 8.
Hard to compete with that military style, drumming. I mean, that's pretty impressive there.
Yeah, and everybody will walk away going, man, we beat them. No, we beat them. It's always fun to hear the band try to compete. So, going to be false start on Cody Reese. So it's going to back the Tigers up, and as we talked about in pregame, that's the thing that Tigers have really got to work on as they continue district play, is those penalties that keep costing them at those crucial times, especially on third down. So 9:20 to go here in the third quarter. Tigers lead 20-10 as McHenry is back in at quarterback here in the second half. He's back to pass, gets in the pocket. He hit Reese across the middle, who's wide open, and going to be a flag on the play.
Looked like the defensive back slipped and fell down, and Brayson McHenry saw that, threw it to a wide open Reese streaking across the middle of the field. Going to be a large gain if this play stands. It looks like it's going to.
Yeah, so it's going to be on the Bobcats. We'll get the call on what the penalty is, but it's going to be personal foul, roughing the passer on the Bobcats, but it's going to, so it looks like they're going to accept a penalty. It's going to be added on to the end of the run, so that'll be add 15 yards, and it's going to get the Tigers down inside the 20, just inside, between the 19 and the 20-yard line. It's going to be first and 10 for the Tigers with 9 minutes left here in the third quarter. Great pitch and catch by Reese. Looking for Look for Blake Rogers. Touchdown, Tigers.
Yeah, and a nice double move there. Brayson McHenry pumped him. Blake Rogers gave him a little stutter step, and then he threw it to the back line, and Blake Rogers goes and gets it. Mr. Reliable right there. You throw it where he can get it, and he's going to catch it.
Yeah. It's a great connection there by the senior to senior. McHenry to Rogers, as Rogers has his 4th touchdown on the season.
My mother-in-law says she was a drummer, too. Y'all got something in common.
Well, there we go. There we go.
Both give me a hard time, and you were on the drum line.
So with 9 minutes left here in the third quarter, Austin Miller with a point after attempt, and it is good. And that's going to bring the score 30-10 in favor of the Tigers. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Texarkana Game Day in partnership with TigerVision.
Welcome to Texarkana Magazine,
where everyone is famous in their hometown.
Every month we have the privilege of interviewing guests and sharing their inspiring stories with you.
You can find Texarkana Magazine at many locations around town. Look for us on the first of each month, where we publish a new print issue, and online every Tuesday.
We'd love to connect with you. Check us out online at txkmag.com and follow us on social media.
Stay famous, Texarkana.
And we are back here at Bobcat Stadium with the Tigers lead 30-10. Eric Aiken along with the Brian Bolt.
Well, we wouldn't be able to be here without our sponsors: Texarkana Physical Therapy, Cantera Networks, Texana Bank, Total Medical Supply, Amcare, Flying Burger, Rocasa, Eagle Dental, and Red River Lumber. We appreciate all of our sponsors. I had to get it out there. Those nachos kind of got me at halftime. But we appreciate all of our sponsors for investing in the youth and our local high schools around the Texarkana area. Make it possible for us to bring you this live high school football action on a beautiful Texas Friday night.
Austin Miller with the kickoff once again with the touchback for the night. The senior playing his first ever varsity season, first ever football season, I should say. So congratulations to him on so far a great season, as he is perfect from extra points, and tonight has figured it out how to kick it deep in the end zone and keep no return for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and it didn't take Brayson McHenry long, did it? When he came in the game, took him down on the very first drive of the game. And it looks like we're going to have an injured player down on the field.
Mosley's going to hit Rogas, and Rogas is down in pain as he is trying to get up, but to no avail. Hopefully our young man is injured. I remember watching him last year as great athlete for the Hallsville Bobcats. 8:54 left here in the third quarter as we have a timeout on the field for the injured Rogas. And we talked about earlier that McHenry came back in, and so, man, once again, led him down the field. Even with 3rd and long in those situations, we're able to stay in the pocket, and that offensive line built a great pocket around McHenry. So it looks like Rogas is going to be walk off under his own power, so always great to see that happen when a young man goes down. So we're going to bring up 1st and 10 after the great catch by the H-back.
Yeah, we got Kelly Owens over, says that she is at the LE game, watching the LE game, or at the LE game, watching them and then watching us live. So we appreciate everyone back in Texarkana for tuning in and watching the Tigers tonight as they take on the Bobcats of Hallsville.
So pass was intended for number 4, Gott, and in and out of the hands, and Derek Brown thought he had a chance there for an interception.
Yep. And he had one earlier. It was called back on a penalty, but he almost had another one right there that would have counted. No flag on the play, but just a little bit out of his reach there, and so that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
8:34 left here in the third quarter as it's 2nd down. Hands off to Nicholson. Nicholson's going to be met in the backfield, immediately brought down for a loss of, I'm going to call it 6 on the play.
You know what, I want to talk about something real quick. Ian Kreit right there on the tackle. We saw this last year with Derek Brown when we had our big OU commit, by the way, having a great season over at OU. But, you know, you've got him on one side, and then that opened it up for Derek Brown to have a big season last year. Now we're seeing people double team Derek Brown, and now we're seeing Ian Kreit, having a big season so far.
And now the Tigers come out through a three-man front, move Braxton White out to that defensive position to have 8 drop 8. We saw this last weekend as Arkansas did that a lot against Texas A&M. They ran a three-man front and dropped 8. And so different look by the Tigers. But you're right, Ian Kreit is having a phenomenal season as everyone is trying to run away. But I will tell you the key to that defensive line is Coach Hawk. He is a phenomenal defensive line coach, and he gets the most out of his guys. He coaches them hard and loves them hard at the same time. And in my opinion, one of the best defensive line coaches in the state, if not the best.
Yeah, he does a good job. Those guys fly around, and they've got plenty of guys standing on that sideline that can play. And so we see them running them in play after play. So
Jalen Jones going to pick it up and got a return, as there is going to be a flag on the play as the referee stands back at the 15-yard line with a flag on the field, and there's another flag and another one. Looks like we got all kinds of laundry on the field tonight.
Yeah, and he's thrown his 3 times. He don't know where he wants to put it at. So he couldn't get it. He couldn't get it there, so he ran over and picked it up and threw it again and then threw it again.
Yeah.
Make sure he gets it right in the right spot.
Looks like so we've got either 2 or 3 penalties on the play. May have had may have had a block in the black or holding, but we're going to find out here shortly, folks. For those of you listening, once again, we thank you for listening as the officials are sorting things out. We need to find a sponsor for penalties. That'd be an idea, like a law firm or something. Or maybe a laundry facility.
Some people up here in our deer stand with us that don't necessarily like Eric's jokes tonight.
No, he said, I'll get you one. He's thinking. He's helping us out.
Well, look, while we've got just a short break in action while they talk over this more, there must be multiple flags on the play. But I want to give a big shout-out to our producer tonight, Zach Doty. He does such a great job. He is not new to the Texarkana Gameday crew, but new to the Texarkana Gameday crew.
Yeah, he was with TigerVision, graduated last year, worked with TigerVision.
Yep.
Illegal motion.
Blindside block.
So we had an illegal motion that was declined, and then we had a blindside block, which you can't do anymore for the safety of players. Against Texas High, going to back them up inside the 35-yard line at the 34, where it'll be 1st and 10. With 7:35 left here in the third quarter. So we are checking scores from around the area as Texas High steps back on the field. Their offense, McHenry's going to go deep. He looks like he's trying to hit Blake Rogers, but going to be overthrown as it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Mount Pleasant continues to lead White House in the third quarter. Nacogdoches is trailing Pine Tree now with 4 minutes left in the third, 18-13. And Liberty Ilo is trailing Van at the end of the third, 21-19. And Pleasant Grove just down the street at Carthage, 31-6 in favor of Carthage. McHenry's pass out to Dangerfield, going to be overthrown, going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and a big thanks to our third quarter sponsor, Gregor Auto Group. Go view their wide selection offered by Gregor Auto Group at gregorauto.com. Gregor Auto Group, exceeding expectations.
And then one more score, Hooks is trailing Paul Pewitt 38-28 in the third quarter.
Yeah, and our score here on the Commercial National Bank scoreboard, your Tigers lead 30-10 over the Hallsville Wildcats.
So McHenry back to pass, going to overthrow, and pass is intended for Blake Rogers once again across the middle. It's going to be a little bit high It's going to be 3 and out for the Tigers, 4th and 10, as they send on the punting unit for the Tigers.
Yeah, and come out with a little different strategy right there. Come out and just let Brayson McHenry throw that thing around, and just a little high on both of his passes there to Blake Rogers. They're going to bring out the punting unit and give the ball right back to the Bobcats.
So they're going to bring up Austin Miller. He's going to be in the punt, as he has all the punting duties. And a lot of times you got to run on players. Sometimes you wonder why. Well, did they not practice this during practice for special teams? But sometimes when there's an injury, a kid doesn't know that he is supposed to be out there. So sometimes you have that happen and make the adjustment and go on. So the ball's going to be down by the Tigers at the 34-yard line of the Bobcats, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bobcats with 7:05 left here in the third quarter. Tigers lead 30-10. We're going to keep it here for the possession change. So Mosley's going to jog on as Ethan Miller and Jack Holliday are out to his left. Going to have doubles on each side. Going to have, looks like Rogas is okay. He's back in the game. And Mosley is going to be pressured, and he's going to throw it away. And it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, we've got a local celebrity watching from back home. Oh, Eric Stanky Leg, Glide Leg, excuse me. And Peg Leg, whatever you want to know him as. But he is a local celebrity, and he is tuned in tonight. Says that he's eating some buffalo at the house and having a good time watching some Texas High football tonight. We appreciate him for tuning in.
Nicholson on the carry, and I think it looked like Darren Finley thought he was going to have a tackle for a loss and just couldn't bring him down. But Nicholson on the carry, going to have a gain of 5, brings up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and Darren had him in the backfield, just couldn't quite get him down to the ground, and he was upset with himself. He knew he had a tackle for loss there and let it slip right through his fingers.
I want to congratulate Chandler Wright, number 17, getting his first start of the season. He's a senior cornerback, number 17, and so congratulations to him for getting his first start of the season at corner. So Nicholson once again on the carry, going to go up the middle, and as once again that defensive line is going to grab him, but he's going to drive forward and going to have just enough for the first down. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, and that's number 7, Braxton White, that gets up off the bottom of the pile there. He was one of the first guys to grab a hold of him and get him down to the ground.
Tell you what, that has been a phenomenal move for the Tigers, moving Braxton to that, from that D end to that D tackle position. He has been a difference maker in the middle there, along with Childs. They are a difference maker in the middle for the Tigers defense. So going to be Nicholson on the carry once again, going to be met right at the line of scrimmage, but he's going to be able to push forward, and they're going to give him forward progress. Going to have a gain of 2, brings up 2nd down and 8.
Braxton White and Derek Brown both on the tackle right there. Speaking of Braxton White, you know, his mom, Shayla, has a place over right close to my office on Jefferson Avenue, and she does food over there and does like meal prep stuff like that. She takes orders and does meal prep stuff, but she's got lunch a couple of days of the week. So if you're looking for really great lunches over there, go and see her right there on Jefferson Avenue. Big shout out to her.
Brian Bolt, free lunches over at Brian Bolt Insurance.
No, not at my office.
Oh, okay.
I said across the street.
Just double checking. It's going to be Bullard on the carry, and the backup running back's going to come in and get a little bit of action, and he's going to get stood up and then going to get popped there at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Michael Thomas grabbed a hold of him, and a couple other Tigers come in and get a good lick on him. They were wanting some head-to-head laundry to come out there, but the back judge says not right now. The field judge, excuse me.
The coaches have got the towels up or the managers got the towels up around the coach, because apparently they think Texas High is still in signs, but I don't think that's happening thus far.
Yeah, good coverage right there by C.J. Brown. Getting a hold of that slot receiver and just jamming him off the line of the scrimmage and getting the quarterback and the receiver off of their rhythm there. Great job by him putting hands on the wide receiver. It looks like that's Rojas back in the game. And so going to bring up a big 4th down right on the 50-yard line with 4:16 left to go in the third quarter. Tigers up by 20.
Mosley gets the signal, lets his line know. Going to go full spread with Nicholson in the backfield, 3 on to his left, back to pass. He's going to be pressured. He's going to pull it down, and he's going to be able to get just across the 45-yard line to the 44, and they're going to have enough for the first down.
Yeah, and the defense went wide there to contain him, and he just stepped up in the pocket and saw all of the defense trying to contain the outside, and he ran right up the middle of that defense. Well, enough for a first down to about the 44-yard line.
Looked like Darren Finley flung a shoe on that play, and so a shoe fell off, so he's over on the sidelines putting that back on. Look to see him in within the next couple of plays. So going to be Mosley, look to throw, going to fake the throw, and going to go run straight up the middle as Finley was out at the middle linebacker position, and Mosley took full advantage of that and went straight up the middle with a big gain down to the 15-yard line. It brings up 1st and 10.
Yeah, and a great call by the Hallsville Bobcat offensive coaching staff. They are seeing one of the best tacklers for the Tigers come off the field. They knew they were going to be short a linebacker right there and just running it right up the gut. So the Tigers got to make a big stand. Ball on the 15-yard line.
Nicholson up the middle once again, going to go off of that right side between the guard and the tackle. Going to have a gain of 5, brings up 2nd down and 5 for the Bobcats.
Javarius Tyson on the tackle right there, but not after a good gain by the Bobcats.
So with 2:56 and counting here in the third quarter, Tigers lead 30-10. Eric Aiken, Brian Bolt with the call. Nicholson with the carry. Going to be brought down immediately, and they're going to have another face mask in the backfield as the flag has already come in. So that's going to be half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and a good job there by the defensive line of the Tigers to stuff that run, but just reaching out and grabbing with those hands. Not sure if they were trying to pull the ball out or what, but they grabbed face mask again. And so that's going to bring them just a step closer to the goal line as the Bobcats try to get back in this game with 2:40 time ticking down here in the third quarter.
So Nicholson's going to check out. Bullard's going to check back in at running back as Mosley in to call the signals once again. So hands it off to Bullard. Bullard's going to probably have a gain of 1 as he's going to be stopped right at the 5-yard line. Brings up 2nd down and goal at the 5 as Nicholson comes right back in. And Bullard's going to check out.
Yeah, and a good job by Braxton White. We're calling his name over and over tonight. He's playing a great game. He come into tonight with 13 tackles, and I know he's got a handful already again. He's got 1 chalked up in the stat book right there.
So we got 2nd down and goal for the Bobcats with 1:50 and counting here in the third quarter. Mosley back to pass, rolls out, and it's going to be caught by number 1, Nicholson, out of the backfield. Touchdown Bobcats as ball got just outside of, looks like Braxton White was over there.
Yeah, they were chasing him down. There was a couple different guys over there. It looked like Jalen Jones was actually the one that was the closest to him at the time, and he looked at Coach Stanford and could not believe, what touch on that pass. It really wasn't a breakdown in coverage. It was just a great play by the Bobcats right there.
So the point attempt after Ontiveros is good. And so with 1:40 left here in the third quarter, Texas High with the lead, 30-17. You're watching Tiger football right here on Texarkana Gameday and TigerVision. We'll be back after these messages.
If you're thinking of building or remodeling, start your project with Raiderville Lumber and the Design Center. Our full-line lumber yards are stocked with the building materials you need for your project. The Design Center offers doors and windows, flooring, cabinetry, countertops, appliances, and more. And our team will help guide your project every step of the way. Take advantage of our custom kitchen design service. We'll help visualize your project with a 3D rendering of how your new space will look. Red River Lumber and the Design Center is proud to be a Day One sponsor of Texarkana Gameday.
Well, looks like it may be a little bit different game going into the fourth quarter as the Bobcats close the lead of the Tigers. Cut into that lead is 17 points for the Bobcats as the Tigers still lead 30-17. Minute 40 left in the third quarter.
Tonight's game brought to you by Browning Homes, Texas Farm Bureau, Dr. Pepper, Express Employment, Kelly Ashbrook, State Farm.
So going to be number 22 on the run back. Looks like it's going to be Michael Thomas on the carry, coming back, the cornerback for the Tigers.
Wanted to make sure that we got that kickoff on the air for you. And so a couple more sponsors. Tonight's brought to you by Stone Studio, Sport Clips, Air Temp, Sports Magic, and the one and only Brian Bolt Shelter Insurance.
So more scores for you tonight. Jacksonville trailing Marshall in the beginning of the third, 57-14. That is not a misprint. We double checked on that. Mount Pleasant leads White House 16-7 as they wrap up the third quarter. And Nacogdoches trails Pine Tree in the fourth, 18-13 in district play tonight. And across just back in Texarkana, Liberty Islo trails Van 27-25. Pleasant Grove trails Carthage in the fourth quarter, 31-6. And Paul Pewitt leads Hooks 38-35, and the Dragons of Redwater trailed Paris Chisholm 49-12 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and a nice first down run by Kelly. Got about 6 yards on the first down carry. On second down, he was stuffed and actually loses about 2, so it's going to bring up third down and 6.
So third down and 6, McHenry in with seconds ticking away, under a minute left here in the third quarter. Going to hit Cody Reese, and he's going to drop the ball, and it's going to bring up fourth down for the Tigers.
So we don't see that very much. Cody Reese got some good hands. He caught it and just tried to turn around and run with it a little too quick without securing the ball, and he just dropped it right there, and the Tigers are going to have to punt.
I tell you, with that 3 and out, the momentum has shifted to the Bobcats here in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And with that score, I mean, it could be a one-score game pretty quick if we're not careful. Great punt by Austin Miller, going to be fielded at the 33-yard line by, at the 28-yard line by Rogas, but he's going to be run out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So it's going to be a 5-yard return.
Yeah, with 27 seconds left to go in the third quarter, your score, Tigers 30, Bobcats 17, and this could be the turning point drive of the ball game right here. The Tigers need to come out and either get a turnover or a big stop, because right now the momentum is on the Bobcat side.
So 30-17. Once again, want to thank TigerVision and all the students that work in TigerVision. Do a great job, as well as Zach Doty, our producer tonight. Really appreciate him and all of his hard work in making us look good, sound good.
That's right.
So Mosley on the pass tries to get it out to Gaunt. Gaunt tries to make the leaping catch, but going to be broke up by Michael Thomas.
Yeah, Michael Thomas said he wasn't having any of it, and so he broke that pass up. And Coach Stanford didn't like something.
It's going to be a timeout with 21 seconds left here in the third quarter.
While we've got a little break in action, we'll remind you about the Texarkana Gameday app. go over and check out the free new Texarkana Gameday app. You can keep up to date on all of your local Texarkana High School athletics. They've got rosters, they've got schedules. You can get notifications from scores and big games from around the area. It's a great app, and they are offering it to the community for free.
Free to you to download, so go to your Google Store or Apple Play Store, or Apple Store, whatever it is. I don't know. Google Play.
You Google guys don't know. Are you a Google?
I'm an Apple guy.
Okay.
Come on, man.
The App Store, man. The App Store.
Go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and download the app for Texarkana Gameday. Appreciate Morgan Smith and all he does to bring you high school sports for Texarkana and the surrounding areas. So here we go, 21 seconds left. Second down and 10 as Mosley gets the ball. Going to get it out on the run. Going to get it to number 5, Rogas. And Rogas is going to have the the catch. Going to be 1st and 10. Just inside the Bobcat territory.
Ian Kreit almost got to the quarterback for the Bobcats. I mean, got him down in the backfield, but he had just gotten rid of the ball.
So the interesting part about the clock is that it's supposed to be wound as soon as a referee winds it, but they've been waiting until the ball is snapped, and on that, of course, he may have been run out of bounds on that. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here in the third quarter with the Tigers leading 30-17. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching Tiger football right here on Texarkana Gameday along with TigerVision.
Welcome to Texarkana Physical Therapy, DeKalb and New Boston Physical Therapy's newest location. Because we're a family-owned clinic, we have the ability to offer some unique accommodations for patients, extended hours including weekend availability, flexible payment plans, and we provide every patient the personal cell phone number of one of our therapists for 24/7 accessibility. We look forward to seeing you at our newest location at 5602 Richmond Road, Texarkana, Texas.
This is Brian from Flying Burger and Seafood, inviting you to join us for the fastest and freshest casual dining experience in Texarkana. Whether you're hungry for a freshly ground hamburger, the tastiest fried catfish, or some of our amazing grilled seafood or chicken, we have what you want, just the way you like it, and always with a smile. Fast, casual dining, just the way you like it. Flying Burger and Seafood, Summerhill Road. Oh yeah, don't forget to top it off with the biggest, baddest cinnamon roll you've ever had. See you soon.
We're back here as we are into the final quarter of this ball game. And it is going to be up to this Texas High defense to stop this offense of the Bobcats, as it's going to be Bullard on the carry for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and big number 95, Brandon Childs, comes up with the tackle right there. And as we start the fourth quarter, this fourth quarter is brought to you by Texar Federal Credit Union. Texar is a community-first credit union that serves in and around the Texarkana area since 1951. Go by a local branch or visit gotexar.com for more info. Texar, Eric, that's where your friends are.
That's right. You always got to love fourth quarter at a high school football game. It's when the band cranks up, pulls out the stops, and lets it go, as you can hear. Mosley with the pass. And it's going to be Rogas, and Rogas with a long reception, and it's going to be touchdown Bobcats, as that is going to narrow the lead.
Yeah, and Jalen Jones tried to get a big shot right there on the receiver and just come up a little short and missed him, and it was off to the races, and nobody was catching that guy. A lot of speed there, and just like that, the Bobcats are right back in the game.
And so going to bring Ontiveros on for the point attempt after. The kick is up. The kick is good. So with 11:02 left here in the fourth quarter, it's going to be a 6-point game. Tigers up 30-24, and that defense runs off, and they're a little bit stunned, as really a couple of these scores tonight have been on big plays.
Yeah, and if you weren't excited at halftime when we came back live on the air, you might need to turn the volume up. Make sure you share this around Facebook and call your friends. We got a ball game here.
We got a big ball game, and the Tigers are going to have to shut it down and score here, or it could get interesting, very interesting. In scores around the area, Jacksonville trails Marshall in the beginning of the fourth, 57-21. Mount Pleasant has extended their lead in the fourth, 23-7. Pine Tree and Nacogdoches, 18-13 in favor of Pine Tree. That game is midway through the fourth quarter. As well as Van leads Liberty Ilo 27-25 with 2 minutes left in the fourth. And Pleasant Grove trails Carthage 31-6 with 5 minutes left in the ball game in that one.
And right here in our game, there's 11:02 left in the ball game, and your Commercial National Bank, the Tigers lead 30-24.
Squib kick to Michael Thomas, and Michael Thomas is going to get hit, but he's going to be able to get it out past the 30-yard line to the 31 where the Tigers will take over. And this place on the home side is electric right now because they are within striking distance of trying to take down the Tigers, who are currently undefeated in the regular season.
Yeah, and the Tigers come into the season highly ranked in the state of Texas in their classification, and this would be a big feat for the Hallsville Bobcats if they can come back in this game tonight. But the Tigers, I believe, have other thoughts.
So McHenry gets the snap, gathers it together, and it looks like Braylon Stewart is back in the game, as he has not played thus far, and he is back in the game and going to have a nice gain of, I'm going to call it 7, going to bring up second down and 3, and he was running like I am coming to take over the game.
Yeah, and that run right there puts him over the 90 mark for the game so far. That's his 14th touch of the night and just over 90 yards. One more touch on him and he'll be at 100.
I'm going to hand it off once again to Stewart. Stewart's got room. He's going to break free, and he's carrying people down the field with him and going to have enough for the first down, as he is going to be tackled on the H near midfield for the Bobcats. And this offensive line is fired up tonight.
Yeah, and, you know, he may not have been out for an injury. Coach Stanford had a pretty good lead coming out from halftime. He may have just wanted him to stay in. And, I mean, he had a big first half and kind of wanted to keep him from being injured. And then Coach Stanford had seen enough and said, hey, bring him in from the bullpen.
So McHenry bobbles the snap as is off to his right, and Stewart was off to the left. And so it's going to bring up second down and 20 for the Tigers. And that's the kind of stuff we've been talking about, Brian. You've got to eliminate those mistakes.
Yeah. And so Reese wide out to the top side of the field. Blake Rogers in the slot, and also split out the third receiver over there. We do have someone inside of him there. Who we got? Jaden Kelly.
So McHenry back to pass. He's got a man almost picked off. He was looking to go to Jaden Kelly on that, and threw that one into quite a bit of traffic.
Yeah, and Coach Stanford not happy with someone, not sure if it was a pass thrown in a wrong direction by Brayson McHenry or if a bad route was run by one of the receivers, but Jaden Kelly will come out of the game. He'll be replaced with number 8. That's going to be Xavier Dangerfield. This is a big third down for the Tigers right here. Going to be a spread formation.
Bobcat fans are on their feet. McHenry back to pass. He throws, intended for Xavier Dangerfield off his hands, and that's going to be fourth down for the Tigers. And now they're going to send on the punting unit.
Yeah, and the tide has turned here at Bobcat Stadium. The folks on the home side wearing purple are all on their feet. Thought I was at Mississippi State for a minute. Got a bunch of cowbells ringing around here. But nonetheless, they are excited on this side of the field. And the Tigers have got to get something going because the momentum swing has happened, and it's not in their favor.
Speedster Rogas is back to receive the punt. Austin Miller to kick. And he's going to get a nice booming punt. Going to land at about the 30 for no return. Great punt, high kick Going to be inside the 25, going to call it at the 22-yard line where the Bobcats will take over as they trail 24-30. Excuse me, they trail 30-24 with 9:02 left here in the ball game.
Yeah, we appreciate all of our sponsors tonight. State Bank, Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, Gregor Auto Collection. Of course, our scoreboard sponsor tonight and every night, Commercial National Bank. And we will have, since we don't have our replay machine up and running for you, we will have one of our big sponsors, Texar Federal Credit Union. We'll have our Texar postgame show right after 9 minutes and 2 seconds tick off the clock.
He's going to hand it off to Nicholson, the workhorse for the Bobcats, as he's done all night. He's going to have a gain of 2, going to bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, and this fourth quarter is brought to you also by Texar. Go by a local branch or visit gotexar.com for more info.
So brings up 2nd down and 8 for the Bobcats.
We will keep you updated on those Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital score updates from around the area. Eric's watching those closely on his phone, and he'll give you some updates when things happen.
He's going to fake it. He's going to get it out to number 1, Nicholson, and Nicholson's going to break free and be inside Tiger territory at the 30. And I'm going to tell you, this Hallsville team, they are confident, and they believe they can beat the Tigers right now.
And it wasn't in the Tigers' favor, but that was a great play. He rolled out to his right, had a back in the backfield that slipped out to the left, and he turned around and threw it all the way back across the field, and a defender had no time to get there for a big gain. And these folks are on their feet, and they are ringing those cowbells.
Going to hand it off to Nicholson. Nicholson up the middle, going to break free, run over his own man, and he's going to have a gain of 6 as he is running like he wants to win a football game right now.
Yeah, these kids are playing hard right now, and those guys are playing to try to win this ball game with 7:29, the clock running here in the fourth quarter. The Tigers hanging on to a 30-24 lead right now, but the Bobcats are knocking on the door.
So bring up 2nd down and 4. Ball is on the 23-yard line as the Tigers are trying to hold here with 7 minutes left here in the ball game. Going to fake it, look to pass, but going to run it, be a quarterback draw, going to run it up the middle, going to bring up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, and Braxton White in on that tackle along with number 11, Darren Finley, bringing down the quarterback there, but not after a good run. Going to bring up, like you said, Eric, a 3rd and short situation. This is a big play right here on this drive.
Going to switch the defensive end positions, going to bring Derek Brown to the near side as he comes to the strong side. There's going to be a false start on the outside by, looks like it's going to be by Gaunt, the senior.
Yep, he was getting ready to run his guy off. It was going to be a running play, and he just got a little bit of a head start there.
I think he got excited.
Yeah. So this makes it a little more manageable for the Tigers to get a stop. And so
see Coach Wilson over there on the sidelines. He and Coach Hawker, the co-defensive coordinators. Coach Wilson coaches the linebackers and D-backs. So back to pass. He's got a man in the end zone. It's going to be a flag on the play. It's going to be an automatic 1st down as it's going to be pass interference. Ball was intended for Holiday.
Yeah, and the play happened in the end zone. We'll see where they mark this penalty at.
So 5:54 left here in the ball game as the Bobcats trail the Tigers 30-24. But 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. Going to be 1st and goal for the Bobcats as they try to punch it in to tie it up with an extra point to take the lead. Texas High trying to hold him here. Going to be brought down immediately as Nicholson on the carry.
Yeah, Javarius Tyson got in the backfield. Him and Darren Finley both in there and stopping the running back for the Bobcats for a loss on the play. That's what they need. They need to play extremely hard right here and keep the Bobcats of Hallsville out of the end zone.
So I'm going to bring up 2nd down and goal at the 12-yard line.
5:24 left to go in the game.
Look to the sidelines, play clock at right at 10.
And the game clock is running as well.
So 30-24, back to pass. He's got a man, he's got Rogas, and he's going to drop it. Looks like he had it in his hands and then dropped it. It's going to bring up 3rd down and goal from the 12.
Yeah, it would have been about a 5-yard gain if he would have caught it right there and made it 3rd down and about 7 to the goal line for the Bobcats, but it's 3rd down and about 12.
Going to shift, going to go strong side on the right side, and Coach Stanford's going to call a timeout. That's a good timeout because I think that's a new formation they have not seen.
Yeah, and there was a flag dropped on the play over there, and I think that's what Coach Stanford was asking about. He dropped the flag. Not sure what was going on with the flag there, but they picked it up. Nobody said anything about it, and the timeout was called by Texas High.
5:05 left here in the ball game as Tigers are ahead 30-24. We've got a tight ball game. It's 3rd down and goal at the 12-yard line as Hallsville's trying to punch it in to take the lead for the first time in the ball game. Well, excuse me, the second time. They were up 3-0 at the beginning of the game. So take the lead since the first quarter.
Coach Stanford talking with the umpire out there in the middle of the defense, and he wants to chat with him a little bit about what's going on out there. He's trying to get him a call. Close game here, working the officials.
Defense has been the strength of the Tigers. This is the moment where they've got to show that strength. Going to be 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and going to go have an H back with Nicholson at running back. I look to see them try to get just a few yards, and this is 2-down territory for sure.
Going to be another timeout called by Hallsville.
So with a timeout on the field, we're going to take a timeout as well. You're watching Tiger football right here on Texarkana Gameday and TigerVision.
Welcome to Eagle Dental Center's location on Moores Lane in Texarkana. Owned and operated by local dentists, each room is well appointed with a clean and inviting environment. Clinical technology has advanced, and so have we. Using the latest equipment and techniques, we adhere to all CDC guidelines. Our doctors are here for you and will carefully listen to your concerns to improve your oral health. To join the Eagle Dental family, visit our website, eagledentaltxk.com.
And we are back. Eric Aiken along with Brian Bolt. Tigers lead 30-24, but Hallsville is knocking on the door. 3rd and 12 at the 12-yard line. Actually, 3rd and goal at the 12-yard line. And Brian, we're going to see how this thing's going to end here with 5 minutes left in the ball game. Still a lot of ball game left.
Yep, 2 big downs right here for the Tiger defense. They need to stand strong right here for 2 downs, keep them out of the end zone. If they can do that and get the ball back, try to run that clock down and get out of here with a win. But this place is getting loud. The side wearing the purple is on their feet and they're ringing cowbells. The Tigers looking a little stunned.
Going to hand it off to Nicholson. Nicholson's going to be brought down just inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Going to be 4th down and goal at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good stop there by the Tigers. Looks like big number 95, Brandon Childs. He was getting up off the bottom of that pile right there, and so he's in on the stop along with Derek Brown as well.
Coach Strickland on the Jacksonville sideline. Looks like he was not happy with somebody missed an assignment there.
Yep. Biggest play of the game right here. Need a big stop. 4:29, the clock running down, still running here in the fourth quarter.
So Jacksonville is, Hallsville, I'm just looking at a score. Hallsville's got a score here, or the ball will be turned over on down. So back to pass, going to roll out, going to be hit. Ball is going to be overthrown, and it's going to go over on downs.
And that's a big, big play right there by Texas High. Their sideline is excited, but they've got to remember they've got 4 minutes and 9 seconds to run out of this clock before the game is over. They've got to make sure that they control the ball and get a few first downs to run this clock down.
So we can just kind of recap here. We got 4:09 left in the ball game. Tigers have 1 timeout. Bobcats have 2 timeouts. And so I would look to say that we probably need 2 first downs and could possibly go into the greatest formation ever in football, and that's the victory formation. Going to hand it off to Stewart. Stewart up the middle. He's going to break free. He's at the 30, the 40. He's crossed midfield. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tigers.
And there's a flag for celebration. I'm not going to comment on the flag at all. And so who needs a first down when you can get a touchdown?
So it looks like it's going to be a touchdown, Tigers, and that is going to be a 91-yard scamper by Braylon Stewart. He is over 100 yards.
If my math is correct, he may be over 200 yards for the night and didn't play the third quarter.
So it looks like it's going to be, we're going to find out the call on the flag.
It looks like we may wave it off. I'm not sure what's going to. Or will it be assessed on the kickoff?
I think it's going to be on the kickoff.
Okay, all right.
And you talking about putting a dagger in it. So it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on. It's going to be on Braylon Stewart, which is his first one of the game.
Yeah, we need to make sure that he doesn't get a second one here before the end of the game. You may not see him back in the game again.
Tell you what, Braylon Stewart has come out this year, and he has really set his heart on breaking the rushing record at Texas High. So
I sure wish we had our replay up and running right now, because when he broke loose, there was nobody catching him.
It became a track meet, and he was in the home stretch. So with 3:55 left here in the ball game, Tigers lead 37-24. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back after these messages. Well, Brian, it's not over until the horn sounds, and we've got ourselves a ball game. 3:55 left here in the fourth quarter. Texas High looking to get 2 first downs, and on the first play, 91 yards. On the scamper was Braylon Stewart, 37-24 in favor of the Tigers, and with that kickoff, Austin Miller does a great job to just kind of put it in no man's land. Going to bring 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and as the defense trots back out on the field, Eric, why don't you give us some Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital score updates?
Once again, beginning of the fourth quarter, Mount Pleasant leads White House 16-7. Double check those scores. There we go. Mount Vernon leads Commerce 63-22. Paul Pewitt is ahead of Hooks 52-41. And final scores within district, Marshall beats Jacksonville 64-21. Pine Tree over Nacogdoches 18-13. And Liberty Isle falls to Van 27-25. And Pleasant Grove falls to Carthage 31-6, as Liberty Isle and Pleasant Grove will begin district play next week.
Yeah, and Mary Sams on Facebook commented and said, Braylon is the man. Yes, ma'am. Yes, he is.
So it looks like we're going to have a false start on the offense, going to bring up first down and 15 for the Bobcats.
Coach Stanford still over talking to the official that threw the flag on Braylon. I'm almost positive that's what they're over there talking about.
Going to bring up second down and 15 as they tried to set up the screen. Bobcats tried to set up the screen to Bullard, but ball was overthrown by Mosley. Going to bring up second down and 15. So Mosley back to pass, trying to look deep. Going to stumble as he almost got back to the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss of one. Going to bring up third down and long for the Bobcats, and you can imagine it's going to be, they're going to go for it from here on out with 3.5 minutes left in the ballgame.
Yeah, Darren Finley getting back there and just getting a shoelace to trip up the quarterback, and Ian Crichton, Derek Brown coming in to clean it up. Going to bring up third down and long.
Mosley back to pass. He's under pressure, going to have to tuck it and run. And trying to get as much as he can. Gets right at the line of scrimmage and has to go down. It's going to bring up fourth down and long for the Tigers as that defense has stiffened its neck once again for the Tigers.
Yeah, and Derek Brown running him down once again. Bring up about fourth down and 15. If they don't convert here, I do believe that'll be your ball game, folks.
With 2:45 left here in the ball game, Tigers lead 37-24 over Hallsville.
Going to be a free play.
They're going to go deep, and he's just going to throw it, and nobody's there, but it's going to be a free play. It's going to be
Derek Brown jumping off sides there. He's not happy with himself.
Remains fourth down, so to get it back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be fourth down and a little bit past the original line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down and 8. So with 2.5 minutes left here in the ball game, as the Bobcats trying to score. So going to have a man across the middle, Gaunt, and Gaunt's going to break a tackle. He's going to fumble the ball. And it's going to be recovered by the Tigers as Jalen Jones falls on it.
And I think that was number 11, Darren Finley, who chased him down from the back and stripped the ball out. And that right there may be your play of the game, folks. That's going to seal the deal for the Texas High Tigers.
And if you're Gaunt, you can't be upset with yourself if you're just trying to win a ball game for your team, as he is frustrated on the sideline with himself, as you can imagine. And so, man, Hallsville has come out tonight and played a phenomenal game against this talented Tiger team with 2:20 left here in the fourth quarter, trying to seal the deal as Kelly with the carry. Going to be a timeout called by the Bobcats. That'll be their second timeout of the half, which will have them with one remaining.
Again, we appreciate all of the sponsors. We're going to run through them one more time before the end of the game. Texarkana Physical Therapy, Katera Networks, Texana Bank, Total Medical Supply, Amcare, Flying Burger, Row Casa, Eagle Dental, Red River Lumber, Brian Bolt Shelter Insurance, Browning Homes, Texas Farm Bureau, Dr. Pepper, Express Employment, Kelly Ashbrook State Farm, Stone Studio, Sport Clips, Air Temp, and Sports Magic.
So 2:15 left in the ball game. Tigers looking to get a first down and seal it, as the Bobcats are going to have something to say about that, as you can expect a timeout after the next carry. 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers. Trent Kelly in at running back for the Tigers. Going to hand it off once again. Kelly's going to run up the middle. Just trying to run time off the clock. Going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, and a big thanks to our premier sponsors of each quarter, State Bank, Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, Greg Orr Auto Collection, our normal replay sponsor, Texar Federal Credit Union, and of course, our scoreboard sponsor this week and every week, Commercial National Bank.
Appreciate all of our sponsors for allowing us to bring you Tiger football. With 2:08 left here in the ball game, I want to once again say thank you to all of the students of Texas High Tiger Vision and Charles Aldridge, who do a great job.
Yeah.
And we will be bringing you all of the games this year. As you can tell, we'll be on the road and at home. And next week, we'll be at home against Marshall. And Marshall, once again, it'll be, looks like it's going to be both teams undefeated in district coming in. So a big game at Tiger Stadium at Grimm Park next week. So folks, buy those tickets. Let's sell that place out. And let's cheer on those Tigers next week. It's going to be a false start on the Tigers. We'll bring up 3rd down and long once again for the Tigers with 2:06 left here in the ball game.
Yeah, and unless something crazy happens here, the Tigers will advance to 4-0 on the season, 2-0 in district play. And then where are they going to be next?
We'll be at home against Marshall.
Okay.
So it'll be a big game because Marshall won big against Jacksonville.
Yeah, and that's what you were just talking about, selling it out. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we need to sell it out. Get those cowbells from the Booster Club that Billy has gotten. Man, let's make some noise. Here's the deal, folks. It's more than buying a ticket. It's about supporting kids, from the football team to the band, the drill team, TigerVision. Come on out, support kids in our local community. Be a part of what they work on all week long as they practice hours upon hours, Monday through Friday, in order to get ready to put on a show on Friday night, whether it's on the football team, the band, the drill team. There's, you know, whatever it is, it's these kids work really, really hard in order to do those things for you on Friday night. So let's get out and support our kids this week. Counting down to almost a minute left here in the ball game. So Coach Stanford's going to let it run all the way down. 1:14 left. So 4th down for the Tigers, and Austin Miller is going to come back in to punt for the Tigers. As the Tiger Band cranks up, I'm so glad I go to THS. Having to teach Brian all these Texas things. Being
I like Texas High. Don't try to teach me too many Texas things. Not going down that road.
Well, while we got a little time out, I know that you're a Razorback fan. You're excited right now. But they're playing Georgia this week. How you feeling about Georgia this week?
I think that us Razorback fans are excited because we have a chance. I don't think that it's going to realistically be a win tomorrow for the Razorbacks, but you know what? We're happy where our program is right now. And so win or lose tomorrow, proud to be a Razorback.
Austin Miller with a high kick, going to be fielded just outside of midfield, going to get back to midfield, and going to bring up 1st and 10 for Hallsville with 1:07 left in the ball game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Eric,
you tell me something, Brian.
While this last minute runs out so we don't keep folks past their bedtime, let's talk about some players of the game. Who you got?
I'm going to go right off. I mean, it's pretty obvious on the offensive side. Braylon Stewart had a night tonight. Scored, I believe, 2 touchdowns, had well over probably around 200 yards of offense. We don't have official stats on that, but I'm going to guess 200 yards of offense, capping it off with a 91-yard run to seal the game.
To seal the deal, that's right. And so Derek Brown going to get him a sack right here as the clock runs under a minute, and it's going to keep on ticking. They're trying to get some plays in real quick, but you know, I'm going to give it to 2 guys because I just can't one. But Javarius Tyson and Darren Finley, if they weren't in on almost every single tackle tonight on the defensive side for the Tigers, and of course, you know, we just got to mention almost everybody out there. I mean, Ian Cricht had another big game. Braxton White, Tyreek Robinson. I mean, just all over the field. We could name every single one of them, but I'm going to give it to 2 defensive players of the game tonight, Javarius Tyson and Darren Finley.
And I would tell you the most improved area for Texas High thus far in 4 games this season is going to be that offensive line.
Yeah, they play well tonight. Blowing
holes for Braylon Stewart. I really like how Stewart's running right now. Really patient runner. He had an incomplete pass on the last play, so with 37 seconds left. But very patient runner. I mean, he's matured a lot, and he's showing that senior leadership from that position.
Yep. And so let's take it even a step further. What's your play of the game? Because I know 2 in mind right now. Let's see if we agree.
Well, I'm going to go with a 91-yard run from Braylon Stewart, I mean, to seal it, because they're just looking to get a first down to just keep the clock running, and he says, hey, we're just going to go get a touchdown. Let's go put points on the board. It's like Greg Surratt says at Carthage, I want the ball first because it's more points wins. It's not about defense doesn't always win, but it's about putting points on the board.
Right, and so, you know, I'm going to go with, I guess it both goes with who we said our player of the game was, but I'm going to go with the strip there at the end by Darren Finley as my play of the game. I mean, that kind of not only, I guess you could say sealed the deal. I don't know. Both of them were great plays, and so on the defensive side of the ball, big time by Darren Finley. And so with 22 seconds left to go, that incomplete pass will stop the clock, and the Tiger offense will come out and kneel the ball one more time, and we will be Texarkana bound.
Hey, the greatest formation in football is what?
When you get on the bus.
The victory formation. When you get to finish the game in the victory formation. So 22 seconds left. Tigers are going to walk away with a win, 37-24. At the conclusion of the game, we'll take a small break, come back with the Texar post-game show.
We promise if you tune in, it won't be long. We're headed back to Texarkana as soon as we can get there.
And if there's a Whataburger on the way, I bet we might stop and get a shake or something. I mean, come on, Brian.
That's right. That's right. And so we might even have a special guest on the post-game show. You know, we might even have a special guest.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight as far as the ball game. We're going to come back here in just a second after this break with a post-game show. Tigers are going to walk away 37-24 victory. Folks, we'll be back right after this to wrap it up. We're back for tonight's Texar postgame show. Eric Aiken, Brian Bolt, and we are joined by our producer tonight, our man, Zach Doty. Man, we appreciate you joining us tonight. We're going to start calling you Bear like they do on ESPN, or maybe we just call you Tiger.
Yeah, that's what Morgan's been calling me out at the studio. I give him all the stats, and he's basically been calling me the Bear. I get into the spreads and everything too, and he's like, oh, this is our Bear right here.
Well, tell us, from standing back here working the computer, you've watched every play tonight just like we have. Tell us what you thought about the Tigers tonight.
I mean, undoubtedly, it has been that offensive line. The last 2 games, Braylon, opening the holes for Braylon has been unquestionably the best part of this team. Tyreek Robinson has had, I think, an interception every single game this season, too. He's off the charts. Like you said, this defensive line and these linebacker core are amazing, getting these tackles, stripping these fumbles. Derek Brown, obviously 4-star commit, is going to be good, getting another sack tonight. Overall, this team played very well, allowed Hallsville to get back in there around the 3rd quarter, but overall finished out when they needed to.
Well, and I would say this, too. Texas High does a great job protecting the ball. They only have 2 turnovers on the whole season, only 2 fumbles, and that was early in the year. And so when you protect the football and don't give them another opportunity to score, that can be a big deal.
So we're right here on our post-game show. Right before we shut it down, I'm going to put Mr. Doty, our Bear, on the spot right now. We both disagreed about who was the player of the game. We're going to let you pick the Texar player of the game. Who is it, Doty?
It is it's Braylon Stewart, without a doubt.
Good pick. It's a very solid pick.
I do want to give a shout-out to Cody Reese, though. Cody Reese, coming in last game, in the second half, under pressure, he really showed out tonight in that first half, leading this offense to a big score and leading to Brayson coming out in the second half and just leading the team to victory.
Yep. Well, Doty, you got anything else before we go?
Go Tigers. Tigers by 90.
All right.
Tigers by 90. Man,
Hey, take it away, buddy.
Hey, you've been watching Texarkana Tiger football right here on Texarkana Game Day. It's been a late night where the Tigers come away with a win. Hey, next week, Grimm Park, Tiger Stadium at Grimm Park. We're going to be there against Marshall, 2 undefeated teams coming in, undefeated in district. Hope to see you there. Let's pack the place out and support these kids. Good night. Hope to see you next week.